The full moon shines brightly against a dark, cloudy sky, suggesting a calm yet ominous atmosphere filled with unseen potential threats or distant conflicts. The ancient tower stands silently under the night sky, its illuminated structure casting mysterious shadows through the dense foliage, hinting at secrets hidden within that may soon unravel. Jinsu Kazuhiro lies on the floor, staring silently at the mysterious patterned window, illuminated by the cold moonlight, as if awaiting a revelation that could change everything. The young man stands silently beside the frozen body of a fallen warrior, his clenched fists revealing a brewing storm of emotions and unspoken questions about the true cost of this loss. The man with a stern face starts speaking with a tone that hints at judgment or disbelief. Jinsu Kazuhiro confronts someone sharply, accusing them of an unworthy greeting after a decade apart. A character demands to check if a man is dead, revealing the urgency and gravity of the situation. Jinsu Kazuhiro bows his head deeply, and a voice responds with strict obedience, confirming readiness to follow orders. The three warriors leap through the shattered window with weapons drawn, immediately alert to the sudden danger threatening them. The masked men tense up, and one demands to know the identity of the unknown assailant holding a knife. The man sarcastically questions the recklessness of entering the successor's room so carelessly, hinting at a hidden danger or trap ahead. The warrior calmly warns that a leader must not show weakness to subordinates, or they will start to see themselves as superior. Jinsu Kazuhiro is surrounded by armed men who warn him that he cannot just walk in and demand he reveal his identity despite the apparent threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro responds calmly, implying the other person's words could equally apply to him. Jinsu Kazuhiro lashes out fiercely, warning someone not to disrespect the successor's room with dirty feet, his glowing eyes revealing the severity of his anger. Two masked men freeze in shock as the heavy doors crack open loudly, signaling an unexpected threat nearby. The sharp sound suggests sudden tension or impact, hinting at an imminent confrontation or unexpected event. Jinsu Kazuhiro's eye glows with a fierce blue light, revealing a surge of power and unyielding determination beneath his stern expression. Jinsu Kazuhiro summons crackling blue lightning from his hand, his stern expression and flowing hair amplifying the dangerous power he wields. Jinsu Kazuhiro releases a powerful burst of electric energy from his hand, overwhelming the space around him with crackling blue lightning. The image reveals the title Lightning God in bold, electrifying lettering, hinting at a story charged with power and divine conflict. Electricity strikes down on the group, causing them to scream in shock and agony as they are caught in a sudden, violent attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrowly avoids a collapsing structure, his sharp eyes alert to the imminent danger as debris shatters around him. Jinsu Kazuhiro turns sharply toward the source of the sudden alarm as shards of glass scatter around the room, signaling an unexpected threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro reacts sharply to a sudden strike aimed at his neck, struggling against the unexpected attack that threatens to overpower him. Jinsu Kazuhiro lifts an opponent by the collar with a single hand while demanding to know who gave the order to kill him, asserting clear dominance and control in a deadly confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro hauls the struggling man by the hair, while the latter fiercely vows never to answer, his desperation clear despite the warrior's unyielding grip. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly admits he is fully aware and reveals he had no intention of sparing his opponent regardless of their response. The man, drenched in sweat and visibly shaken, demands to know the stranger's identity, revealing his fear and suspicion. Jinsu Kazuhiro lies still with closed eyes, attempting to gather his strength or recall something vital as he begins to speak. The text reveals a hidden connection, warning that the main character has unknowingly killed the older brother of someone significant, hinting at impending consequences. The man freezes in shock and fear as he realizes someone has just called him older brother, revealing an unexpected connection that unsettles him deeply. Two children timidly hide behind a stern figure, their expressions revealing a mix of fear and curiosity as they cling to his robes for protection in an uncertain moment. The figure unleashes a powerful burst of electric energy, overwhelming the surrounding opponents with a fierce roar. Jinsu Kazuhiro unleashes a powerful electric attack that begins to disintegrate the skull of his opponent, signaling a decisive and dangerous moment in their battle. Jinsu Kazuhiro summons a glowing blue energy in his hand, while warning that he should have been left to live as a dead person. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches intently as debris floats around him, signaling a moment of silent tension and looming danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro lands forcefully on the ground after shattering a barrier, his expression resolute as he braces for the consequence of breaking through the protective wall. Jinsu Kazuhiro defends himself against a sudden, fierce, magical assault, his sword ready as enemies with glowing weapons advance in chaotic frenzy. Jinsu Kazuhiro hovers above a massive pile of fallen warriors and skulls as an ominous, swirling energy engulfs the battlefield, signaling a dread power that threatens to consume everything. A towering, fiery figure with burning eyes and smoke pouring from his mouth rises menacingly above a crowd of masked warriors and onlookers, whose tense and determined expressions hint at the imminent clash that could change their fate forever. The bustling town street stretches toward the imposing gates of a fortified city, hinting at a place where countless stories of power, intrigue, and survival unfold behind the ancient walls. Two men react in shock and fear to something unseen, their sweaty faces and wide eyes revealing the danger approaching. Three men freeze in shock as a mysterious figure approaches, their wide eyes reflecting sudden realization and fear. The crowd anxiously prays and cheers, their faces filled with hope and excitement, while the presence of the man with long black hair creates a tense anticipation. Akira stands confidently with the wind catching her long hair and robes, her expression full of calm determination and a hint of undisclosed intentions. The girl suddenly recognizes a distinct smell, which causes the figure behind her to close their eyes, revealing a mysterious connection between them. Jinsu Kazuhiro arrives with a heavy package while a merchant excitedly tells the woman they've found what she was seeking, hinting at a crucial discovery or deal. A man holds a package while a girl with a pink ribbon rushes forward excitedly, drawing the attention of a bystander. The girl excitedly asks if this is the famous True Dumplings' main location, and the man responds warmly, implying she must be a newcomer, before beginning to explain about the True Dumplings. Akira unexpectedly insists on being given a plate, her determined and commanding tone surprising the man before her. A woman informs the man that they have run out of something today, and he questions her apology with surprise. Akira screams out in shock and desperation, overwhelmed by a sudden and terrifying revelation. The girl desperately pleads for just one more, but the man pulling her away explains that they sold the last ones to another customer, highlighting her frustration and looming disappointment. Akira reacts with surprise as someone unexpectedly presents a tightly wrapped, mysterious package. The man suggests that maybe someone will sell her one, causing the girl to react with surprise. The girl launches herself into a cloud of smoke, while a man nearby coughs desperately from the choking dust. A man runs away screaming as explosions erupt dangerously close behind him, signaling an urgent and chaotic threat. A man speaks about a very beautiful lady, hinting at admiration or perhaps a story behind her. The speaker warns that being so conspicuous in this world is dangerous, implying a threat hidden behind their words. Jinsu Kazuhiro walks through a busy street, his purposeful stride drawing curious glances as the people around him pause in anticipation of what his arrival might bring. The young man turns sharply as someone calls out to him, alert and cautious about the unexpected attention. The girl, exhausted and out of breath, questions how the young man is so fast and if he uses a special footwork technique while he calmly asks what she needs. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions the authenticity of the dumplings in the bag he holds as someone else asks if they are true dumplings, hinting at suspicion or hidden value behind the simple food. Akira excitedly proclaims that these are the genuine best dumplings in town from Zhongyuan, her enthusiasm rising with the overflowing image of dumplings behind her. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions Akira about buying so many dumplings unknowingly, doubting her reputation as a great dumpling lover, then sharply demands to know what she needs, catching her off guard and prompting a sudden realization. Akira urgently begs the young man to sell her just one dumpling while he stands firm and questions why he should agree. Jinsu Kazuhiro reacts with surprise as a woman passionately declares her willingness to pay any price because she loves dumplings. A woman expresses her lifelong dream of eating authentic dumplings while a group of intimidating men approach in the background, hinting at an impending confrontation. Three warriors stand united in silence, their hardened expressions hinting at a looming conflict that demands both strength and unyielding resolve. A woman in pink declares her readiness with a confident gesture, signaling that she is prepared for what comes next. The woman, confident and playful, agrees to something and promises to treat the other person to a fancier meal, while an unseen figure abruptly reaches out from the left side, adding a sudden edge to the scene. The girl narrowly dodges a sudden attack, her hair flying wildly as she quickly reacts to the danger approaching from the street. Jinsu Kazuhiro supports Akira against a wall while she struggles to remain conscious, and the tension between them hints at a deeper, unspoken connection amid the unfolding danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro remains silent, surrounded by softly falling petals that contrast with his stern expression, hinting at a calm before a storm. Akira feels her heartbeat quicken as she is surrounded by swirling cherry blossom petals, hinting at an important moment or realization unfolding within her. The jagged red script bursts across the scene, signaling a sudden and intense clash that warns of imminent danger. The girl yells in shock as her punch causes the man to bleed from his mouth, questioning the reason behind his unexpected reaction. Jinsu Kazuhiro's stern expression turns to shock as he questions what just happened, hinting at an unexpected or mysterious event unfolding before him. The girl apologizes nervously, explaining that she was just very surprised. The main character admits to himself that he allowed her to attack him, hinting at a hidden strategy or hesitation that could change the course of their confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro urgently signals Akira to be silent while she hesitates, questioning the need for quiet. Jinsu Kazuhiro cautiously peers around the corner, ready to confront an unseen threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro observes quietly from the shadows, realizing that the lone fox he hunts is still alive as people pass unaware nearby. Jinsu Kazuhiro looks intently ahead, while the girl's reaction reveals her captivated fascination with his gaze, hinting at an unspoken tension between strength and vulnerability. Jinsu Kazuhiro sharply turns around after Akira notices something alarming, and she silently realizes that the presence of a certain person changes everything. Akira reacts with surprise as a mysterious figure surrounded by blue flames suddenly appears and starts moving forward. Akira and another woman are startled and look around in shock, as Akira wonders aloud where someone has just vanished. A lone bird soars high against the vast sky, embodying freedom and an uncertain journey ahead. A subordinate questions the captain about the necessity of their current plan, revealing underlying doubt and tension within the group. The muscular warrior warns the two standing figures that such revenge will draw everyone's attention and asks if they are willing to risk their safety once their identity is exposed. Jinsu Kazuhiro challenges the girl about her fear, while she responds with confusion, questioning what he means. Jinsu Kazuhiro remains calm and indifferent while the two men behind him argue heatedly, one mocking the other for being scared, and the other angrily denying the accusation. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly tells a surprised girl named Hwanya that she is greatly misunderstanding something as they both overlook a vast town below them. The girl anxiously asks if it will be dangerous, while Jinsu Kazuhiro remains silent, his expression tense and unreadable. A person bows deeply in apology for their careless words while Jinsu Kazuhiro remains silent and expressionless, hinting at the weight of unspoken consequences. Jinsu Kazuhiro is ordered to track down a dangerous organization called Moonwave, his face tense with the weight of the mission. The young man questions the meaning of Moonwave, his curiosity tinged with confusion as he seeks clarity from the stern-faced figure nearby. An unseen character orders the Moonwave to find and kill their targets, hinting at a deadly pursuit about to unfold. The young man bites fiercely into a rice roll, crumbs scattering as he devours it with urgency. Jinsu Kazuhiro urgently warns not to kill them, while the muscular man trembles, pleading for mercy and mentioning the Moonwave as he struggles to speak. Jinsu Kazuhiro silently contemplates as he touches his lips, hinting at unresolved thoughts or an impending decision. The bird spreads its wings wide and descends sharply, its claws ready to grasp, signaling an imminent attack or capture. Jinsu Kazuhiro instructs Dark Wind to assist two others while a hawk screeches loudly nearby, signaling urgency. The young man commands to move forward with determination, and his followers respond eagerly, ready to act on his orders. The quiet street under a starry sky hints at a calm before a storm, while the weary man moves cautiously among glowing lanterns, suggesting a night filled with unseen threats. The empty, dimly lit hallway with intricate wooden carvings and soft glowing lanterns creates an eerie calm that hints at hidden secrets waiting in the shadows. An empty room bathed in warm light holds a flying garment and drifting ribbon, hinting at a sudden departure or unseen presence. Bare feet hesitate on the cold floor amid scattered fabric, hinting at a fragile moment filled with tension and unspoken vulnerability. Akira stands behind the screen, carefully holding fabric while the warm light of dusk filters through the room, hinting at a quiet moment filled with hidden purpose and unspoken thoughts. The girl adjusts the bandage wrapped tightly around her chest, her expression tense as if preparing for a difficult challenge ahead. A woman undresses quietly in a softly lit room, revealing vulnerability that hints at an upcoming revelation or confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro swiftly throws something with force, his movement sharp and decisive. The young man grips the thick blue rope tightly around his waist, bracing for an imminent challenge that tests his resolve and strength. The scene reveals a sudden burst of light and sparks, hinting at a powerful energy or a critical moment about to unfold. The young man senses something unexpected and cautiously assesses the situation, hinting at an unseen challenge ahead. Akira announces to her master that she is ready to start the mission, her expression firm and resolute despite the looming uncertainty. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands before a massive ancient gate shrouded in swirling mist under the night sky, ready to face the unknown hidden beyond. The Grand Palace stands imposing under bright sunlight, its imposing architecture reflecting power and a sense of anticipation for events about to unfold within its walls. The ruins stand silent and broken under a murky sky, hinting at a recent devastating battle whose consequences still linger in the air. The silhouettes of two figures stand opposed, one radiating intense red energy, symbolizing demonic power, while the other is engulfed in cool blue flames representing spiritual strength, hinting at an imminent clash between dark force and disciplined resolve. A long line of people moves steadily toward the gate where two officials call out for the next, signaling the beginning of an ominous or significant event. A man in traditional clothing introduces himself as B. Seal, stating his age and weapon, and admitting he has no formal affiliation but follows a master named Byuk Sagun. The young man looks tense and alert, sweat dripping down his face as he prepares for an imminent challenge he cannot yet fully grasp. The young man clenches his fist near his mouth, struggling to catch his breath and overcome his weakness. The man narrows his eyes with a look of fierce determination, signaling he is ready for a confrontation. The young man anxiously wonders if Jinsu Kazuhiro can see through his disguise, while internally insisting he is truly a man despite his feminine appearance. The man sitting at the table accuses the young man of trying to show off his looks, causing the latter to react with surprise and denial. The man yells fiercely that being a martial artist requires skill in martial arts, not acting. The girl nervously admits she was speaking without purpose, while the man in the red robe agrees, showing frustration. Their uneasy interaction hints at underlying tension amid the indifferent passersby. A foot slides off the edge, hinting at a delicate or dangerous moment about to unfold. The young man feels a surge of triumph as he enters the gate, realizing he has finally reached his goal. But a subtle tension lingers, hinting that this victory might only be the beginning of a greater challenge. Akira notices a crowd gathered near the grand building and questions if that is the place where everyone is assembling. A young woman quietly thinks about the need to blend in as best as she can while surrounded by a crowd of imposing figures. The young woman leans forward, her eyes wide with surprise and confusion as if questioning what just happened. The crowd murmurs in disbelief, questioning the identity of the lone figure standing calmly amidst them. The character reacts with shock and disbelief upon realizing that Dumpling is also present here, hinting at unexpected complications or a hidden connection. Jinsu Kazuhiro stares into the distance with a calm but resolute expression, silently preparing for the challenges ahead. The girl expresses frustration about being assigned to the same squad, hinting at underlying tension or conflict between teammates. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates a difficult situation while people around him continue moving, indicating a sense of urgency and doubt about what action to take next. The girl raises her hand in a defensive gesture while sweating nervously, conveying urgency and warning about an imminent threat. The girl reacts with sudden shock and confusion, her wide eyes and sweat revealing an unexpected danger or startling discovery. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands motionless with a stern expression as a shocked girl gasps in fear, her hand raised instinctively in defense. Her reaction reveals the overwhelming power and threat he embodies. The girl wipes sweat from her forehead with a determined smile, hinting at a hidden resolve despite exhaustion. The main character's inner voice warns him of an imminent and overwhelming danger, signaling a critical turning point filled with desperation. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands before the ancient gate, feeling the weight of the unknown challenges that await beyond its doors. Jinsu Kazuhiro fixes his intense gaze forward, his hair flowing wildly as he braces for the imminent confrontation that could determine his fate. The main character resolves that he must confront the unpleasant truth directly by venturing into danger himself to uncover the origin of the foul odor. Jinsu Kazuhiro merges into a crowd of diverse figures moving toward a grand, imposing gate, each step thick with anticipation and the unspoken tension of what awaits beyond. Jinsu Kazuhiro suddenly notices something, his sharp eyes narrowing with cautious suspicion as he senses a hidden threat nearby. The girl stands closely between two men, her body tense, as the scene hints at an unspoken danger or confrontation about to unfold. The girl gazes sharply into the distance, her focused expression revealing sudden realization or warning of hidden danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro speaks with firm resolve, revealing a determination that hints at an imminent challenge he must face. Jinsu Kazuhiro states the name and age of someone, while the man with a long braid explains that the weapons involved are varied, hinting at an undercurrent of tension among the group watching. The man shouts angrily, questioning the absence of a main weapon and demanding strength. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands calm and resolute as a radiant halo of power surrounds him, while someone before him reacts with sudden shock, sensing the overwhelming energy he exudes. The man is sweating and stunned as he wonders aloud why so many attractive men have arrived today. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently in front of a seated man who hesitates inwardly, questioning whether to deny him entry. The sky, bright with clouds and fragments falling, reveals the aftermath of a sudden and unseen destruction, hinting at an imminent threat or a fierce battle that has just passed. Jinsu Kazuhiro returns to a place he thought he would never see again, his fists clenched with a silent resolve. Jinsu Kazuhiro, lost in thought, is called out sharply by someone demanding to know why he is spacing out and orders him to come over immediately. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands among the crowd, his sharp gaze fixed ahead as tension quietly builds around him while others murmur and observe cautiously. Jinsu Kazuhiro sharply focuses as a sudden burst of blue energy flashes near him, signaling an unexpected danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently in the shadows, his sharp gaze fixed ahead as an ominous tension fills the air around him. A character senses they are being watched, feeling a hidden gaze that hints at an unseen threat or secret observer. Jinsu Kazuhiro senses someone nearby and questions internally if he is being followed, his gaze sharp and alert. Jinsu Kazuhiro frowns with focused intensity amid a crowd while a voice urgently identifies him, revealing an imminent confrontation. The girl presses her fingers to her temple, her wide eyes filled with tension and a flicker of fear as sweat beads on her face, revealing the weight of an urgent and troubling realization. Jinsu Kazuhiro recalls recognizing someone from before, realizing the suspicion about that person's lingering presence was justified. Jinsu Kazuhiro, his long hair flowing in the wind, focuses intently on the distant figure of Akira, who shields her face with her hand among the crowd, hinting at her inner turmoil and the tension that binds their fates. Someone urgently calls out to catch another's attention, signaling an imminent confrontation or important message. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands imposingly with a calm, unreadable expression as the girl instinctively raises her hand defensively, sensing the overwhelming presence and impending danger he represents. The girl responds hesitantly, showing a mix of nervousness and uncertainty. The young man confronts the silence with a sharp question about the lingering gaze, revealing his unease and demanding the hidden reason behind the watchful eyes. Akira gasps with wide eyes and sweat on her face, overwhelmed by sudden shock or realization that hints at approaching danger. The young man sternly swats the other's head, while the latter nervously laughs and explains that he is from the country and everything is new to him. The girl angrily interrupts and grabs someone's arm, demanding an explanation for their excuse. Jinsu Kazuhiro swiftly grabs the fabric, emphasizing the sudden and deliberate motion. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes with explosive force, shattering the energy barrier just as his opponent braces for the impact, capturing a moment charged with raw power and imminent danger. The young man turns sharply with wide eyes, sensing the sudden shift in danger around him. The voice expresses shock and disbelief that he managed to deflect the attack, hinting at unexpected skill and rising tension. Jinsu Kazuhiro ducks sharply to avoid a heavy blow, the force and light around him signaling imminent danger and a critical moment in the fight. The character wonders aloud who would dare send such a skilled person to spy on him, revealing his suspicion and the gravity of hidden threats. Jinsu Kazuhiro's calm expression suddenly shifts to shock as he notices something unexpected. The girl is surrounded by glowing petals, her expression shifting to one of surprise and wonder, as if she has just seen something unexpected that carries a deeper meaning. Jinsu Kazuhiro accuses the young man with a sharp accusation, causing him to recoil in fear and shock. The guy recognizes the other and sarcastically corrects him, claiming he is not a beggar but a dumpling lover, while the young man responds with a stern, assertive gesture. A commanding figure orders everyone to move and follow him, while a man insults a girl by calling her a beggar and a lover, igniting tension among the crowd. The crowded dining hall buzzes with activity as patrons eagerly eat and serve food, hinting at a lively atmosphere where alliances or conflicts might soon unfold. The young man eagerly fills his plate with various dishes from the buffet, while others behind him also load their plates, revealing a scene of urgency and hunger. The atmosphere of the room is filled with casual noise as several men eat their meals, while Jinsu Kazuhiro sits alone in the background, quietly observing the scene with a focused and calm demeanor. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates a small object in his hand, with a stern expression, the quiet room and unfinished meal hinting at his restless mind. The guy throws food at the young man while teasing him about not being able to do anything without eating. Jinsu Kazuhiro offers some tasty dishes cheerfully, while the young man reacts with surprise and questions his actions. The young man reacts with alarm to being urgently called out, sweat running down his face as he senses an imminent threat. The young man eagerly promises to serve his senior and obey any order while eating messily, prompting the other to angrily demand he stop talking with his mouth full. Jinsu Kazuhiro, his face tense and covered with dirt, warns that there will be a price to pay in return, hinting at the dangerous consequences of the current situation. The girl raises her finger to her lips, signaling for silence while her tense shoulders and duplicated shadow suggest a growing inner turmoil or warning of an unseen danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions the terms of an uneasy alliance, while the other person assures him of a comfortable 3 years at the academy in exchange for hiding their true identity. Jinsu Kazuhiro firmly refuses an offer he clearly does not want, his confident expression underscoring his resolve. Jinsu Kazuhiro dismisses the other's concern, insisting the young man is not losing anything, while the latter firmly states his refusal to get involved with people he deems unnecessary. The young man abruptly turns away, ignoring the girl's frantic plea to stop him, as she wonders what could be wrong with him. Jinsu Kazuhiro immediately notices something unexpected, while the young man running after him urgently calls him to wait. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches a bird flying high between two tall buildings, lost in thought. Jinsu Kazuhiro looks ahead with a calm but intense expression, while Akira urgently holds out a hat, trying to catch his attention, hinting at an important message or warning she must deliver. The young woman reacts with surprise as someone tells her to take responsibility, leaving her with a sudden and weighty task. The girl eagerly asks if the offer is being accepted, her excitement barely contained. Jinsu Kazuhiro steps forward from the temple with resolve, his stern gaze fixed ahead as sunlight filters through the trees, hinting at an imminent challenge. Jinsu Kazuhiro quietly utters the name of a hidden technique while two figures crouch silently in the tree above, implying a looming confrontation. A voice urgently announces the discovery of their targets, signaling a turning point filled with the promise of confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro stiffens as he senses an unexpected danger approaching him. The scene shows a traditional building partially hidden by trees, as a voice asks if someone has found the targets, hinting at an unfolding search or pursuit. Jinsu Kazuhiro notes that things happened quicker than expected, while the other man explains they only had to rough up a few people before getting the needed information. The man clenches his fist with a confident smile, insisting that he followed orders and did not kill. Jinsu Kazuhiro suggests infiltrating the academy as well, and the other man questions his reasoning, hinting at an underlying motive. Jinsu Kazuhiro suggests that dealing with the annoying incidents at the academy alone is unwise, and implies it would be better to accept his help. Jinsu Kazuhiro reacts with surprise to the guy's words, and the latter notes that Jinsu repeats what a woman once said, hinting at an unexpected connection or secret. The young man reveals he has found someone useful, hinting at a hidden plan or alliance that could shift the balance of power. The man in the dark kimono explains that joining him would leave Dalchi isolated outside. Another fighter reacts with shock at the idea of a subordinate inside the academy, and a muscular man defiantly insists Dalchi can handle himself alone. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches silently as a muscular fighter loudly mistakenly declares Dalchi stronger than Huanya, while another angrily corrects him, insisting the statement was misunderstood. The young man sitting on the ground shows annoyance while one standing figure questions the trustworthiness of another, revealing underlying doubt and tension. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions whether the approach was intentional, his sharp gaze probing for hidden motives. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates silently, his expression revealing a mix of concern and determination as he processes the gravity of the situation. Jinsu Kazuhiro listens as a man with long black hair in the background cautiously suggests a condition, hinting at a tense negotiation or challenge about to unfold. Jinsu Kazuhiro decides that keeping his enemies close is the smartest strategy, hinting at a calculated plan beneath his confident smile. The bees buzz around the flower, their restless movement hinting at an imminent disturbance or hidden danger nearby. A man asks the crowd if they enjoyed their meal, and the people enthusiastically confirm that it was great. A stout man boasts about the academy's reputation for its food, while a group of students watches silently. The speaker warns the group that very few will have the chance to experience the privilege again, causing visible surprise and concern among the listeners. The man announces with a confident smile that the entrance exams are about to begin, hinting at the challenge and tension to come. A stern voice declares that failure will result in immediate expulsion, emphasizing the severe consequences awaiting those who do not succeed. The warrior raises his arm to command attention, causing the crowd around him to react with surprise and tension. The man smiles broadly and asks who will take the first move, his expression hinting at anticipation and challenge. Jinsu Kazuhiro observes the tense group around him, thinking there is no reason to volunteer to go first and deciding to wait for someone else to make the move. Akira insists on taking the test first to report back to Jinsu Kazuhiro, who listens silently with a composed and stern expression. Jinsu Kazuhiro confidently assures Akira that he would not have come this far if he doubted his ability to succeed, while she looks at him with a mix of surprise and caution. The young man warns the girl that even if she succeeds, she won't be able to pass information to him, implying a deeper plan or obstacle ahead. The crowd gathers in front of a traditional building while someone speculates that those who pass will be separated from the others waiting. The imposing warrior stands guard before the large door, gripping his heavy mace firmly as if prepared to confront any threat that dares to approach. The character explains that the action taken is justified only to prevent cheating, implying a deeper conflict about fairness and trust. The villagers gather below in alarm as they notice the giant bee perched on the rooftop, and one of them utters a sound of surprise, signaling the unexpected danger looming over them. The girl calmly notices a bee approaching her head, while the young man beside her watches the scene with quiet concern, sensing the potential danger behind the unexpected encounter. The girl fiercely shoves her hand into the young man's face, warning him to back off as he remains calm, unfazed by her boldness. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes with suspicion as a strange bee buzzes near his temple, silently questioning its presence. The girl mocks her disguise, claiming even a bee mistakes her for a flower, while the young man silently endures her teasing with sweat on his face. The young man asks if the entrance exam is really that hard, and the larger fighter replies with a challenging remark, suggesting he should go first if he is so confident. The young man asks what kind of test it is, his expression showing curiosity and confusion. A man addresses a crowd in front of a traditional building, stating that the matter is simple. The woman tells the man that he just needs to enter the storage and come out with something, hinting at a task that seems simple but might carry underlying risks or challenges. The young man shows confusion and asks for clarification about an unknown thing. A burly man angrily warns the young girl that she asks too many questions, causing her to sweat nervously. The young man forcefully throws a girl into the air, commanding her to go first, hinting at a dangerous trial she must face. The towering warrior silently looms over the fallen figure, whose breath catches in tension, revealing the immense gap in power between them. The girl warns the man that the event is starting and questions what the opponent will reveal, while he watches with a calm but serious expression, already anticipating the challenge. Jinsu Kazuhiro smirks with a hint of mystery, implying that the answer to the question remains unknown. Jinsu Kazuhiro approaches the large closed door guarded by a towering warrior wielding a massive weapon, sensing the imminent challenge behind it. The young man freezes with a sharp intake of breath, sweat running down his face as he senses a looming threat just beyond the dimly lit corridor. A sharp and sudden sound breaks the silence, signaling an unexpected moment charged with tension and potential danger. The young man stands before mysterious stone structures and admits he cannot see anything, hinting at an impending revelation or hidden danger. The muscular fighter slams his hand against the wooden beam with force, testing the strength of the structure or signaling his arrival. The large bald man turns his head slowly with a calm but imposing expression, signaling attention or response without haste. The man narrows his eyes with skepticism, silently judging the situation with a hint of weariness. The bald man looks over his shoulder with a calm yet unreadable expression, hinting at a quiet confidence or a concealed threat. The bald fighter braces himself as he blocks a powerful strike with a heavy weapon, his muscles tensed and focused on the impending clash. A warrior swings a heavy flail with all his strength, smashing it fiercely into a large wooden gate. The blurred and bold strokes of black ink form a tense, explosive sound effect, building anticipation and signaling the sudden impact of an intense moment about to unfold. The man's eyes widen in shock and panic as something approaches him rapidly from above, leaving no time to react. The blurred black lines suggest a sudden, sharp movement or an accelerated strike, hinting at an intense moment where the outcome could change the course of the conflict. The fighter grabs his opponent by the collar with a powerful grip, preparing to launch a decisive strike that could end the confrontation. The insects swarm aggressively around the shattered remains of the hut, signaling impending danger or a hidden threat nearby. The sound of a sudden and sharp movement breaks the silence, hinting at an imminent clash or a swift, decisive action about to unfold. The man raises his hands in shock and confusion, clearly caught off guard by something unexpected. The young man raises his hands defensively, sweating and wary as something ominous stirs above him. The young man gasps in shock, frozen by a sudden terrifying realization that chills his very soul. The young man freezes in panic as he is suddenly surrounded by an aggressive swarm of bees closing in on him from all sides. The man's face twists in terror and disbelief as he shouts out in shock, overwhelmed by the sudden danger he faces. The warrior swings a heavy weapon with full force, the shouting sound echoing as tension builds between the looming threat and the observers. A group of men stare in shock and fear, their bodies tense and sweating as they realize something alarming has just happened. The crowd gathers around the storage building as one remarks it must be full of bees, and another concludes the challenge is to retrieve something inside without getting stung. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates deeply, questioning the nature of the mysterious something that lingers beyond his understanding. A large muscular man forcefully breaks through a wooden barrier, showing no hesitation in his aggressive advance. A guard wielding a large mace stands firm as a man crashes violently through a wooden door, splinters flying and urgency palpable in the chaos. A man taunts the other who is coughing and struggling to catch his breath, asking what substance he consumed. The man puckers his lips tightly, explaining that whatever they are dealing with must be extremely valuable for the bees to guard it so fiercely. The hand tightly grips a dripping honeycomb, suggesting a moment charged with urgency or a crucial discovery yet to unfold. A man laughs while holding out a dripping honeycomb and clarifies jokingly that he means honey. The crowd watches closely as someone hands an item to another, while they speculate it might be honey. Their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands calmly behind them, observing the tense exchange. Akira realizes they must brave the bees to obtain honey, while Jinsu Kazuhiro listens intently, weighing the danger ahead. The girl asks if this is how they will get through, showing a mix of doubt and hope as she seeks confirmation. The crowd watches tensely as a figure in a red kimono firmly refuses something, while a nearby girl reacts with surprise, sensing that this denial carries unexpected weight. The warrior delivers a powerful strike to an opponent, who shouts that he failed, while flames blaze fiercely in the background. The man's face is grotesquely swollen, and he reacts with shock and confusion, demanding to know the reason for this sudden change. Akira realizes the truth and acknowledges it with surprise, while Jinsu Kazuhiro explains that the situation is not about hiring beekeepers, implying a deeper, more serious test. The man explains that the offer depends on passing an exam, and the girl nervously accepts this condition, realizing its importance. Jinsu Kazuhiro commands Akira to follow him, causing her to react with surprise and hesitation. The voice demands to know who is brave enough to step forward for the next challenge, stirring anticipation and tension in the air. Akira volunteers to go first, and the crowd quickly follows her lead, showing their willingness to join despite the looming danger. The man lets out a surprised but pleased exhale, signaling recognition or realization. The girl convulses on the ground, her face grotesquely distorted and unable to speak properly. The young man expresses his frustration over waiting, while the girl beside him reacts with a cheerful laugh, both addressing the man with a braided ponytail who listens silently. The older man smirks confidently, hinting at a hidden plan or advantage as he speaks with assured determination. The shout urges to attack immediately, signaling the critical moment has arrived and leaving no room for hesitation. A sharp golden corner lights up the darkness, hinting at an imminent revelation or hidden power about to emerge. Jinsu Kazuhiro emerges from the blinding light of an open doorway, his stern expression signaling a presence that could change everything. Jinsu Kazuhiro swiftly fires a blow at the muscular opponent bound to the post, showing no hesitation in the confrontation. The girl recalls that the young man seemed to have prior knowledge about the exam, hinting at a hidden advantage that raises suspicion. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands alone, surrounded by a swarm of aggressive bees, hinting at an imminent and deadly confrontation where a single mistake could cost him dearly. A large bee rushes forward at high speed, the motion lines emphasizing the imminent threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches intently as debris and shadows swirl ominously around him, signaling the arrival of a dangerous force. Jinsu Kazuhiro channels intense energy around him, preparing to unleash a powerful attack with unwavering focus. The scene reveals the name of a powerful technique or artifact called Divine Wind Armor, hinting at immense strength and a turning point yet to come. Jinsu Kazuhiro channels a powerful surge of blue energy from his hand, unleashing it with fierce focus as the air crackles with raw magic. A powerful energy blast shatters the ground near a small, struggling insect, highlighting the overwhelming force threatening even the weakest. Electric energy explodes violently, scattering a swarm of insects helplessly in all directions. The warrior floats motionless, as a glowing blue aura forms a mysterious and powerful silhouette around him, signaling the awakening of a hidden force. Jinsu Kazuhiro closes his eyes, focusing deeply as a crackling blue energy surrounds him, signaling a powerful but dangerous technique about to unfold. Jinsu Kazuhiro channels a powerful blue energy through his intense gaze, readying himself for the impending clash where strength and resolve will be tested. Jinsu Kazuhiro senses emptiness as he confronts the eerie silence of a deserted shrine, his guarded stance hinting at the unseen dangers lurking despite the apparent nothingness. Jinsu Kazuhiro, his eyes glowing with intensity, contemplates the situation and notes the presence of only the beehives, hinting at a hidden danger or mystery unfolding. A glowing-eyed insect suddenly appears before the shocked gaze of the character, signaling an unexpected and possibly dangerous encounter. Jinsu Kazuhiro stares forward with a calm yet determined expression as an electric blue energy swirls around him, hinting at his immense power, awakening in the midst of a cold, swirling storm. Akira stands quietly amidst a group of tense men, their alert expressions hinting at an unseen threat that holds everyone in cautious suspense. The guards stand alert by the doorway as a cloaked figure slips inside, signaling the arrival of a hidden threat. The group freezes in shock and fear, sweat dripping down their faces as they realize the gravity of the situation they just confronted. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands resolute, his gaze unwavering as a quiet power radiates from him, hinting at the strength he holds ready for what is to come. A man recoils in fear and demands to know what his approaching adversary wants. The man grimaces with frustration as Jinsu Kazuhiro's hand firmly presses down on his forehead, asserting dominance without a word. Jinsu Kazuhiro responds with a dismissive sound as the other man loudly declares the pass, hinting at tension and unspoken rivalry between them. Akira raises her arms triumphantly while the crowd around her shouts in amazement and declares that he passed, hinting at a significant victory or achievement with high stakes behind it. The man shouts for the next person to enter aggressively, causing the young man to think that the shout scared him. The man urgently commands to get inside, while the young woman remains calm but determined, hinting at the urgency and danger of the moment. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands alone in dim light, his stern expression hinting at a looming challenge that demands his unwavering focus. The girl thinks to herself that she needs to find something important here, her gaze sharp and determined amid the growing tension. The guy realizes with shock that the dripping substance in his hand is not honey, hinting at an unsettling truth behind the familiar appearance. The question arises whether something hidden exists within the beehives, suggesting a secret that could change everything. Jinsu Kazuhiro dismisses the idea as too obvious and doubts that the plan is to fight the swarm of bees, feeling the weight of an unseen danger pressing down on him. The girl reacts with shock, raising her hand to her face as she quietly registers a sudden, alarming realization. The young man walks into a dark, web-covered place, recognizing it as the Illusion Academy, a sinister training ground created by a demonic cult. A shadowy figure watches another man from behind a wall, hinting at secret surveillance with the word spying, emphasizing the danger of being caught. Jinsu Kazuhiro leaps silently over the fortress wall, preparing to infiltrate despite the guards' watchful patrol below. A gunshot erupts as a man falls back violently, blood splattering and marking the sudden deadly act, while the distant figure prepares to vanish into the shadows after the assassination. The narration reveals the crucial responsibilities that define a martial artist belonging to the unorthodox faction, setting the stage for an intense and unconventional path ahead. A dense formation of armed warriors stands in rigid rows around a traditional pavilion, their disciplined posture hinting at an imminent threat or a looming battle. The narration explains that an unorthodox martial artist must learn to overcome the scrutiny of many observers. The main character stands still in a neutral stance, concealing his expression and intentions behind a shadowed face, while the uniformity and repetition around him hint at the looming threat of indistinguishable enemies blending into the background. The narration emphasizes the crucial ability to distinguish between what is fake and what is real, even when engulfed by darkness, hinting at a challenge that demands sharp perception and resilience. A swarm of ominous insects rapidly approaches, signaling an impending threat that demands immediate attention. The swarm of glowing-eyed bees suddenly draws attention, signaling an imminent threat that heightens the tension in the scene. A wide, glowing eye reveals the warrior's sudden shock and rising fear as something unseen threatens to break his composure. The character realizes and emphasizes that the bee in question is fundamentally different from the others, hinting at an unusual threat or significance. The young man faces a swarm of ominous glowing bees, realizing the danger of trying to reach one without getting stung. The young man clenches his fist tightly against the wall, his restraint barely contained as a silent threat lingers in the tense atmosphere. The young woman sharpens her focus, summoning a fierce resolve as dark energy swirls around her like a storm ready to break. The character realizes that survival depends on outpacing the attacking bees. Feeling the urgent pressure of the moment, the sharp strokes of a sword slash through the air, signaling the start of a fierce confrontation. Akira descends rapidly with glowing eyes, shattering the ground beneath her as she charges toward a distant seated figure. A crowd of people gathers in orderly lines outside a traditional building, their presence hinting at an important event about to unfold. The young man forcefully bursts through the door, propelled by intense urgency and determination. The fighter reacts with shock as two opponents are violently thrown through the air toward him, hinting at an unexpected and dangerous attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro delivers a powerful kick that sends his opponent crashing backward, showing his overwhelming strength and determination in the fight. The young man clenches his fist with fierce determination, a confident yet slightly strained smile revealing his resolve despite the sweat on his face. The man realizes with alarm that someone remains unharmed, hinting at a growing threat that defies expectations. The young man reveals a tiny bee in his hand and asks if this is the one they were looking for, hinting at its crucial importance. The giant buzzing bee blocks the path with a warning to pass carefully, signaling danger ahead. The man remains silent, his expression unreadable yet tense, suggesting he is holding back something important. A man shouts that the opponent has passed, while a figure is violently thrown backward, and a scream of pain echoes from the impact. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches in stunned disbelief as a cheerful young man energetically raises his arms, while a stern guard stands silently nearby, exhaling with disapproval. The man reveals that the squad is filled with unlikely candidates, but two have already succeeded, emphasizing that it had to be those specific two who passed. A young man confidently asks the stern warrior if he is worthy to serve him, while the warrior watches with crossed arms and a slight smirk. The girl teasingly confirms his acceptance of the offer with a confident and playful gesture, hinting at an unfolding plan. Jinsu Kazuhiro doubts her desperation to become his subordinate, while the other man smirks slyly, hinting at hidden intentions. The character senses something suspicious, hinting at underlying danger or hidden motives. The girl screams in pain as the young man tightly grabs her hair, his expression unreadable while she reacts with shock and distress. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches silently as a fighter is declared a failure in front of the tense crowd near the ancient temple. The girl admits it was difficult to find something, and the stern man responds with certainty that no one else will succeed. Akira reacts with surprise while Jinsu Kazuhiro reveals that the one found was the last remaining pass bee, hinting at a pivotal, possibly dangerous discovery. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly asks if the swarm of bees was counted, hinting at the gravity and precision required in this dangerous situation. The young man accuses Jinsu Kazuhiro of cruelty and blames him for killing someone, while the warrior remains calm but alert. Akira insists that she only knocked someone out because all lives are valuable, while Jinsu Kazuhiro silently reflects on why the orthodox enemies were defeated, hinting at underlying conflicts and differing ideals. Jinsu Kazuhiro informs Akira that there are no pass bees left, while she questions his actions with a mix of concern and accusation. Akira suddenly notices something alarming, her expression shifting from calm to sharp alertness as if danger is close. Akira questions Jinsu Kazuhiro about the strength required for someone to be his subordinate, warning that excessive power in a subordinate could threaten their loyalty. The young man doubts the certainty of the statement, his calm expression hiding a hint of skepticism and a carefully calculated doubt. A muscular man angrily drinks large chunks of meat while a long-haired warrior in blue sits silently nearby. And in the background, the girl with a pink ribbon ascends the stairs quietly, hinting at a brewing tension beneath the lively tavern scene. The guy scolds the large man for eating excessively while watching him devour meat from an enormous stack of plates without hesitation. Jinsu Kazuhiro mockingly asks if the creature is tired of its actions, while the monster accuses Huanya of eating too little, implying a weakness behind her small size. The sharp words accuse the unseen target of weakness, laying the groundwork for conflict and testing their resolve. The muscular man clenches a large drumstick tightly, his puffed cheeks showing he is about to challenge or provoke someone with his words. Jinsu Kazuhiro argues that size does not equal strength and claims he relies on intelligence rather than brute force, while sitting calmly across from a muscular opponent eating with chopsticks. The young woman notices laughter and demands to know what is so funny, her voice filled with sharp accusation. Jinsu Kazuhiro grabs the collar of a man stuffing his mouth with food and demands to know what he just said after the man admits he does not know if Huanya is smart. The young man suddenly notices someone entering the room with a heavy step, his expression shifting to alert surprise. The main character observes a group of men descending the stairs, quietly noting with relief that they are finally leaving. Jinsu Kazuhiro announces that their target has been defeated and signals to leave as the group exits through the door. The young man greedily opens his mouth wide to eat a piece of food held by chopsticks, showing no hesitation. A hand slams down on a wooden surface with force, cracking it, signaling a moment charged with tension or anger. Jinsu Kazuhiro remains calm and focused despite a fierce attack from behind, showing his readiness to face unexpected threats. The narrow street bustles with people going about their day, merchants and customers mingling as the sun casts long shadows, hinting at secrets hidden beneath the calm surface of the town. A muscular man laughs confidently while offering a handshake over a container of red powder, as two serious men and a third with a topknot stand silently in the background. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches the approaching figures closely from the shadows, sensing that their arrival could change everything. The young man cautiously peeks around a corner, signaling he has found the enemy's stronghold. Jinsu Kazuhiro cautiously approaches a building with a muscular companion, both readying for an impending confrontation in the quiet courtyard at sunset. Jinsu Kazuhiro and the muscular man behind him both react with sharp surprise, their eyes wide and alert, as if they just sensed imminent danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands tense in the foreground as a hostile crowd armed with weapons advances slowly toward him, revealing the danger and impending conflict that cannot be avoided. The guy senses danger as a hostile crowd armed with various weapons blocks the street, ready to confront him and the man beside him. The young man in green braces himself alongside a muscular ally as a crowd of armed enemies closes in, while a sword is drawn menacingly in the foreground, signaling an imminent and dangerous confrontation. A burly man accuses the group of following them for a long time, revealing a hidden tension among the gathered crowd. A man explains that the opponent was foolish to follow them without realizing it was a trap. The smaller girl angrily tells the large muscular man something, but he silences her with a stern command to shut up, showing his dominance and impatience. The man in pink orders the large fighter to teach the foolish enemies a lesson, while the muscular man prepares himself, radiating silent strength. The fighter endures a powerful strike from a massive stone fist, highlighting the sheer force he faces and hinting at the peril of his next move. A muscular man angrily demands who dares to follow them, asserting their identity with a raised fist ready to strike. A massive fist shatters through a barrier with explosive force, signaling an unstoppable assault. The fighter launches a powerful downward strike with burning energy, aiming to overpower his opponent with a decisive blow. A man crashes violently to the ground while shocked onlookers react in fear and surprise as someone's imposing presence looms nearby. The man freezes in shock and sweats profusely, stunned by something he did not expect. The young man is suddenly grabbed from behind by a muscular opponent who smirks confidently, as he informs him they allowed themselves to be caught intentionally, hinting at a deeper strategy. The fighter's arm is pierced by multiple arrows in a fast and brutal strike, highlighting a sudden and dangerous ambush. The fighter is violently struck and sent flying backward, the impact throwing debris and emphasizing the crushing force of the blow. The man clenches his teeth and tightens his eyes as black dust swirls around his face, struggling against an intense force. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes a deadly blow at an opponent, who stands stunned and bleeding, while a girl recoils in shock, covering her head in fear. The wounded man flinches defensively as a powerful strike rushes toward him, highlighting the danger of his precarious position. The ground is littered with unconscious or defeated people scattered chaotically, hinting at a fierce battle that just ended with no one left standing. A man on the ground, tense and wary, demands to know who sent his attacker, revealing his fear of a greater threat lurking nearby. Jinsu Kazuhiro leans in with a sharp gaze and demands who sent them, while the trembling man nervously questions why he needs to know, hinting at a dangerous secret behind the inquiry. The muscular fighter swings his powerful arm downward, while the man with long black hair and a sly smile tells someone that they will die anyway, hinting at a grim inevitability and raising the tension of the confrontation. The sun sets behind the traditional temple, casting long shadows that hint at secrets and impending change. A hand lifts a plate from a tall stack filled with various dishes, hinting at an intense or prolonged meal or challenge. Jinsu Kazuhiro quietly questions the girl's excessive appetite, implying suspicion about her true reason for joining. Jinsu Kazuhiro complains that he couldn't enjoy his lunch properly and regrets the wasted meal because the dumplings were disappointing, implying they should have eaten elsewhere. Jinsu Kazuhiro asks if she enjoyed the true dumplings, while the girl mentally reassures herself that they were good. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly admits he bought something just because he wanted to, while the young man in blue angrily questions why he did so without intending to use it. Jinsu Kazuhiro remains calm and composed while the girl trembles with fear and frustration, thinking about the threat they face. The young man clenches his teeth in frustration, reacting with sharp disbelief to an unexpected challenge. Two men remark that the newcomer must be new here, observing her with cautious curiosity. Jinsu Kazuhiro points out to the girl that the seniors usually sit there and questions if she noticed the empty spot as a sign, while she responds hesitantly. A close-up of the girl's eye reveals her suspicion and concern as she wonders if someone is acting territorially. Two men glare suspiciously and ask what someone is staring at, hinting at underlying tension or a potential threat. The text reveals an understanding that newcomers try to emulate their seniors because they meet people who are 3 years newer than themselves. A nervous junior apologizes to the seniors for being unaware of the rules, asking for their forgiveness, while a senior amusedly acknowledges the politeness and inquires about their origin. Meanwhile, Jinsu Kazuhiro watches the exchange with calm detachment. The young woman reveals her allegiance to the orthodox faction, her expression a mix of determination and underlying tension. The man narrows his eyes sharply, reacting instantly to an unexpected and urgent realization. The girl warns the young man about someone belonging to the demonic cult, while he listens with a stern, unreadable expression. Two men exchange grim words with barely concealed hostility, their expressions hard and threatening, as if preparing for an imminent clash. Akira recognizes the meaning behind the intense gaze she senses, her expression tightening with uneasy understanding. Akira's face is tense and sweating, revealing her inner turmoil and the heavy weight of a decision she must make. The narrator warns that the threat involves more than just the obvious enemies. The young man notices the disgusted expressions of the crowd, sensing their rejection without hearing a word. The man mockingly questions the relevance of the orthodox faction, dismissing it as outdated since the demonic cult has dominated the Jianghu for so long. The room buzzes with quiet laughter and whispered challenges as the mention of relinquishing power over the orthodox faction hangs in the air, hinting at deep rivalries and a struggle for dominance yet to unfold. The clenched fist pounds the surface with a force that radiates tension and imminent conflict, hinting at a breaking point about to be reached. Two men in blue sit tensely at a table with food, gripping their fists as the surrounding crowd shares quiet conversations and laughter, hinting at underlying tension beneath the lively atmosphere. A sword gleams intensely, radiating a powerful aura that hints at an imminent clash or a decisive moment. The man pours water over someone's head while claiming it is a custom, symbolizing the rejection of the orthodox faction. A man's face is shown partially covered by a cracked, dark mask that drips with glowing golden liquid, hinting at a painful transformation or emerging power just beneath the surface. The senior taunts cruelly while pouring water over the defeated man's head and mocks that they will handle the matter personally, demanding no gratitude. The young man firmly pours a glowing liquid from a wooden vessel, summoning a dense steam that hints at a powerful and mysterious ritual underway. The young man sinks into a mysterious, melting substance, his weakening body barely holding on as someone quietly calls him master, hinting at a looming collapse or transformation. The intense light blinds the viewer, obscuring everything as dark strands whip violently, hinting at a powerful and dangerous moment unfolding. An ancient teapot bursts open with a sudden explosion, releasing a mysterious golden energy that hints at a hidden power unleashed. A fierce explosion erupts as the young man narrowly dodges the blast, his eyes wide with shock, while the attacker's strike shatters the ground beside him. Two men glance nervously at something unseen, their faces tense and sweating, hinting at sudden danger or shocking news. Jinsu Kazuhiro warns the others that he hears water splashing nearby, signaling a potential threat. Two men confront someone off-screen with anger, one demanding confirmation that the words were addressed to him while the other aggressively affirms it. The man in purple furiously accuses the opponent of daring him, while the man behind taunts that he is doomed. The black-haired fighter in a purple outfit is thrown violently into the air by a powerful strike from a calm and composed opponent, highlighting the sudden shift of power and the danger of underestimating his foe. The fighter crashes forcefully into the ground, shattering the surface with overwhelming power that suggests a desperate fight or a critical turning point. The warrior's eyes glow ominously as a dark energy surges around him, signaling a dangerous power awakening that threatens to overwhelm his opponent. A monstrous figure recoils in horror as a powerful, blinding strike crashes down with overwhelming force, threatening to shatter everything in its path. A massive impact crushes the ground with violent force, sending debris flying and shaking the earth beneath. The fighter endures a violent, glowing blow to the face, his strained breath revealing the pain and struggle within. The warrior sharply warns the trembling man beneath him, asserting control while the latter struggles in pain and defeat. Jinsu Kazuhiro's eyes glow red as he senses an ominous power awakening within him, his expression tense with the weight of the dark force he struggles to control. The bold command challenges the viewer, demanding them to erase or confront something significant, hinting at a turning point charged with urgency and defiance. The man struggles in pain and fear, realizing he is completely paralyzed and unable to move his body. The guy clenches his fist tightly against the ground, and the thought arises questioning whether pressure is being applied to a critical acupuncture point. The man trembles silently in fear as he faces two imposing figures, sensing the danger that leaves him unable to speak. A man shouts angrily at the crowd, accusing them of being passive bystanders. A tense crowd of rough-looking men watches intently, their expressions wary and alert, sensing an imminent conflict or challenge. A tense crowd gathers in a narrow restaurant as a man unexpectedly grabs a woman, causing a shocked observer to halt mid-step amid the charged atmosphere. Akira urgently demands the warrior to stop, her voice trembling with desperation, while he remains calm and unyielding. Jinsu Kazuhiro orders someone to wipe something immediately, causing the other man to react nervously and insult him under his breath. A fierce impact shatters the armored figure's helmet as it lets out a guttural roar of pain, signaling a critical blow in the battle. A commanding voice orders everyone to stop as a figure in a striking outfit pushes through a crowd that parts with urgency and tension. A confident man with long silver hair and ornate robes questions the situation while three imposing and uneasy-looking figures stand behind him, their expressions revealing tension and uncertainty. Two men exchange tense glances, sweat dripping down their faces in the midst of a silent but intense confrontation. The man smiles calmly, asserting that he demanded to know what is happening, revealing a controlled but probing intent behind his words. The man sweats nervously and explains that he intended to teach the newcomers a lesson for sitting in his seat. The man's sharp gaze narrows in disbelief as he questions what he just heard. The man sweats heavily and grimaces in shock, showing fear or pain. The sweating man looks tense and frustrated at the others, while a serious warrior sits with a calm but firm posture and a young woman watches attentively, and the intruder thinks bitterly about their foolishness. The man smirks knowingly while reflecting that someone tried to teach a lesson but ended up embarrassed instead, hinting at a dramatic turnaround. The man calmly states that his friend appears to have made a mistake, hinting at a looming consequence. Jinsu Kazuhiro closes his eyes with a calm but stern expression, apologizing on behalf of someone else and urging to stop the conflict before it escalates. Three men express intense anger and frustration, with one shouting a curse while the others glare fiercely at someone unseen, hinting at a brewing conflict. The man mockingly questions if his apology is insufficient, revealing a hint of arrogance behind his calm expression. A gathered crowd watches tensely as a man sternly confronts a kneeling young woman, while others stand by, observing the unfolding scene with varying degrees of concern and anticipation. Jinsu Kazuhiro coldly dismisses the threat, stating he only needs to have his shoe wiped, signaling his confidence and control in the situation. Jinsu Kazuhiro firmly rejects an apology, while the other man responds with a calm, almost mocking smile that hints at hidden confidence. The man closes his eyes with a calm smile, hinting at hidden confidence or a secret plan behind his serene expression. The man with purple hair exudes calm confidence, causing the other man to sweat nervously in realization or fear. The man struggles to keep his composure, sweat dripping down his face as he fights against an unseen pain or pressure. The man's sharp red eye narrows with focus, causing the opposing figure to react in sudden shock and fear, drenched in sweat and wide-eyed with alarm. The man with a stern expression braces himself against another, while a sweating figure grabs his arm desperately, and a girl watches their tense interaction with wide, alert eyes. A man screams in agony as a heavy boot crashes down onto his head, delivering a brutal and merciless strike. Akira urges to move quickly, signaling urgency, while a panicked man nervously agrees without fully understanding the situation. The man with the high ponytail unexpectedly asks the silver-haired figure to reveal their name, hinting at curiosity or suspicion. A man with silver hair introduces himself as Jujaak, while two others watch cautiously from behind. Jinsu Kazuhiro remains cold and unmoved as the surrounding men express shock and anger that he completely ignored their challenge. The character wonders aloud if someone named Ju-Jaak could truly be from a mysterious place, hinting at an unexpected connection that stirs curiosity and suspense. The girl realizes with shock that they are dealing with the Blood Lightning Ju clan, hinting at danger and a critical turning point. The narration reveals that the strongest forces of the demonic cult include 4 great heavenly clans and 3 major sects, emphasizing the Blood Lightning Ju clan as one of these powerful clans. Akira contemplates silently, recognizing that the young man holds significant power within the academy. 3 muscular men in various outfits stand tensely in a traditional room, while an unseen character thinks that provoking one of them would be unwise. The man smirks confidently and remarks that someone is about to stir up trouble, hinting at coming chaos. The group of tough men turns in shock as a mysterious figure clad in ornate robes appears, commanding silent authority. The man trembles heavily, sweating and struggling to speak as he utters a name with difficulty. The figure's intense gaze and commanding tone reveal an urgent demand for someone to follow them immediately, hinting at a situation fraught with danger or crucial consequences. The night sky blankets a traditional Japanese castle, setting a quiet but ominous stage for the unfolding story. A man commands everyone to return to their rooms, his authority driving the crowd to quickly obey and disperse. Akira admires something enthusiastically, expressing that it's really nice, while Jinsu Kazuhiro stands behind her with crossed arms, observing quietly and thoughtfully. Jinsu Kazuhiro silently observes a woman falling and thinks that the place she chose is good for a secret exit and that she would make a good servant while she cries out in surprise. The girl expresses gratitude for the guy's actions at the restaurant and reveals she disliked the others involved, while he downplays it and urges her not to take it seriously. Jinsu Kazuhiro firmly sets rules for sharing the room, while the girl eagerly promises to obey without question, revealing a stark power imbalance between them. Jinsu Kazuhiro commands to be first in everything, including the bathroom and bathing, while the girl obediently agrees, prompting him to wonder why she is so compliant. Jinsu Kazuhiro warns that he will occasionally have to go out at night, and the girl responds eagerly that she understands. Jinsu Kazuhiro listens skeptically as the girl insists she only needs to cover for him if they are checked, her energetic gesture clashing with his stern composure. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates silently as a bird flies against the starry sky outside the open doors, while his words imply he is about to reveal something important. The young man storms out the door with force, declaring his intention to leave tonight, while the girl watches in stunned silence, sensing the weight of his decision and the imminent rupture between them. The girl reacts with shock and disbelief, questioning if something is already happening sooner than expected. The image presents a powerful introduction to the Demon King chapter, showcasing a confident character alongside the credits for the team that brought the story to life, hinting at an intense, dark confrontation to come. The night sky reveals a full moon above jagged mountains as a mysterious voice mentions the 5 Lightning sect, hinting at an ominous presence or challenge ahead. The men discuss how their obvious spying led enemies to trap them at the main base, acknowledging the chaos they caused and anticipating their foes' anger. The young man admits he has never heard of the sect before and suggests they must contact the Moonwave to gather more information, signaling the uncertainty and the need for cautious investigation. The main character asks if the meeting location has been discovered, his sharp gaze reflecting the urgency and weight of the situation. Jinsu Kazuhiro offers to guide, his stern expression hinting at hidden determination and the weight of responsibility ahead. The full moon casts a pale glow over the ancient palace rooftops, while ethereal lights flicker like whispers of a hidden force lurking in the night. The group approaches a mysterious building called the House of 10,000 Books, and one of them wonders aloud if it is merely a disguised bookstore. The group enters what appears to be a bookstore, while one of them comments that the smell is unappetizing, and another remarks that books should not smell like food, hinting at underlying dissatisfaction or suspicion. The young man with sharp features questions if people actually eat the thing in question, while 2 others beside him watch quietly, their expressions a mix of curiosity and caution. Jinsu Kazuhiro cautiously approaches the room and tells the man inside that things do not appear as expected, hinting at hidden complications. The man with glasses calmly states that the other person's real objective is the books, implying he sees through their intentions. The young man confirms they have come to gather intelligence, his gaze sharp and resolute. A muscular man introduces himself as Seo Pyung and explains that they provide information based on payment, emphasizing they set the price themselves. Jinsu Kazuhiro proposes moving directly to negotiation, and the man opposite him agrees, asking what information is sought. Jinsu Kazuhiro demands details about the Five Lightning Sect, his gaze sharp and unwavering as he seeks crucial information. The man with glasses reveals information about the Five Lightning Sect, while carefully flipping through a large book, hinting at a deeper knowledge that could change everything. A sealed letter suddenly falls onto an ancient scroll, hinting at a secret message that could change everything. The man places a folded paper on the table, offering a low price for their first deal, hinting at cautious trust or a calculated risk. A man loudly questions the high price for a single sheet of paper's worth of information, while another calmly replies that it should not be considered expensive, both surrounded by documents and scrolls suggesting the gravity of the transaction. Jinsu Kazuhiro doubts the value of information that was already written down, suggesting it can't be that good. The young man demands to know the truth behind the Five Lightning Sect, confident the other party holds the answers. The man taunts his opponent by admitting he expected an easy victory, revealing overconfidence that hints at underestimating the challenge ahead. A character announces the amount of 3,000 nyang, hinting at a significant transaction or bet. The man adjusts his glowing glasses, hinting at a hidden knowledge or a sudden realization that could change everything. Jinsu Kazuhiro asks the other man if he accepts items instead of money, revealing a sharp, cautious tone that hints at unspoken stakes in their exchange. The young man carefully presses his fingers onto the glowing green orb, signaling the start of a mysterious and possibly dangerous action. Jinsu Kazuhiro reacts with shock as a scholar reveals the immense value of a mysterious glowing orb on the table, while the calm girl watches silently. A man holding a glowing pearl excitedly claims it is the highest quality luminous pearl he has ever seen, while the young man with long black hair and traditional kimono calmly tells him to consider it as payment for future information he will provide. Jinsu Kazuhiro demands precise information valued at 3,000 nyang, his sharp gaze revealing a firm expectation and no room for deception. The man with glasses carefully writes a letter, while the figure with long black hair watches silently, suggesting a hidden plan unfolding between them. The young man holds a folded note in his hand revealing the ominous words, "Five Poison Demon," hinting at a dangerous secret he must face. Jinsu Kazuhiro angrily confronts a sweating man about the exorbitant price of a phrase, accusing him of charging 1,000 yang for each word, while the man calmly tells him to check a sheet given earlier. The young man reads aloud that the Five Poison Demon is not mentioned here, and the head of the Five Lightning Sect is Makjong, while the stern-faced Jinsu Kazuhiro immediately denies the claim, insisting that it is false. A man confirms the identity of the Five Poison Demon as the true head of the Five Lightning Sect, while the others inquire if there is any additional information. The man with glasses explains with a calculating tone that achieving the goal requires both time and a significant amount of money while holding up a glowing green orb. Jinsu Kazuhiro orders to investigate further and insists on acquiring that information, revealing his urgent need for knowledge that could change the course of events. The full moon shines brightly over the ancient temple complex, casting an eerie glow as invisible forces seem to stir in the tranquil night. The warrior plunges through the water-filled frame, his flowing hair and garments emphasizing the urgency of his desperate escape or attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro suddenly notices something important, his expression sharp with alertness as if a crucial danger or revelation just appeared before him. Akira silently watches two figures lying unconscious in the dimly lit room, her tense posture hinting at hidden intentions and an impending confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently by the bedside, watching over someone lying still, his posture tense with unspoken worries and the weight of looming decisions. Jinsu Kazuhiro carefully unfolds a large mysterious scroll, his sharp eyes scanning its contents as the dim room's shadows deepen the sense of an impending revelation. Jinsu Kazuhiro exhales quietly, his sharp gaze revealing a moment of rare vulnerability amid the tension. The figure made of straw lying on the bed sets a disturbing scene that hints at hidden dangers or an ominous message left behind. Jinsu Kazuhiro exhales slowly, his gaze sharp and calm, as if weighing the weight of an unseen challenge ahead. The girl lies unconscious with her mouth slightly open and a trace of saliva, hinting at a loss of control or vulnerability in a moment charged with silent tension. The giant red lanterns hang silently above the empty courtyard, their presence casting an ominous shadow that hints at an impending event or hidden danger. A lavish spread of food is laid out on a table, hinting at a feast that may conceal deeper tensions beneath its festive appearance. The grand setting of the Illusion Academy entrance ceremony unfolds with a long banquet table and rows of formal attendees, promising a pivotal moment where alliances and rivalries will silently begin to shape the fate of those gathered. The young man scans the empty steps intently, demanding to know the whereabouts of a certain person, hinting at urgency and a brewing confrontation. A man in a headband looks anxiously into the distance, noting that the crucial moment is about to arrive. A group of soldiers in uniform stand in formation. One of them calls out to get attention, signaling the start of a tense moment. The girl questions the corrupt demands of their school for new students to prepare food for seniors, hinting at deeper dissatisfaction while the stern young man listens, his expression unreadable. The character reveals that the Heaven Squad is an exclusive group accessible only to members of the demonic cult, hinting at a dangerous secret society. A man dressed in traditional clothing declares that the Earth Squad holds a lower rank, hinting at the power dynamics and potential conflict ahead. A figure announces the arrival of the Human Squad, hinting at an impending confrontation. Akira questions the purpose of their division into ranks, her tone challenging the meaning behind the system, while Jinsu Kazuhiro listens silently beside her, his posture firm and contemplative. The character condemns an act as clear discrimination against people from the orthodox faction, hinting at an underlying conflict between groups. The young woman fiercely reminds that the action being discussed violates the Academy's core principles, signaling a serious conflict ahead. Jinsu Kazuhiro observes the changes and remarks that the situation is actually better than before, while the girl reacts with surprise, questioning his statement. A man with long gray hair claims that the successor of the demonic cult valued Illusion Academy greatly, and explains that the other cannot enter the Heaven Squad because they are not from the demonic cult while Jinsu Kazuhiro listens intently. The girl reacts with surprise as the young man explains that entry into the Earth Squad is now possible due to changes made in the system. The girl reacts with surprise and confusion, sensing that something unexpected has just happened. The announcement enthusiastically welcomes newcomers to the Academy, while the Grand Hall bursts with energy and anticipation. The character introduces himself as Dan Nobick, the Vice Dean of the Academy, while the young woman looks on with wide, surprised eyes. The group of men reacts with a mix of shock and confusion as something unexpected captures their attention. A group of men in matching uniforms turn their heads sharply, sensing an unexpected threat approaching from behind. The man covers his face with his hand, overwhelmed by frustration as he silently dreads facing the same problem again. The rhythmic sound suggests an approaching heartbeat or footsteps, building tension and anticipation for what is to come. The drummers strike their drums with growing intensity, sending a powerful rhythm echoing through the air, heightening the tension like a storm about to break. A massive explosion erupts above the fortress, drawing the stunned gaze of the gathered crowd as they realize something catastrophic has just unfolded. The warrior crashes powerfully onto the ground in front of an ornate throne, sending dust and debris flying as a sign of defiant arrival and impending challenge. The main character kneels on the ground in silence, surrounded by fading smoke and fallen cherry blossoms, while desperate hands reach out from behind a decorated screen, revealing the cost of a recent clash or betrayal. Akira looks shocked and questions the man's sanity, while Jinsu Kazuhiro stands behind her with a calm but stern expression, hinting at a dark and dangerous nature beneath his composed exterior. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes with a stern expression, contemplating a hidden threat that could change everything. Jinsu Kazuhiro smiles gently, surrounded by falling cherry blossom petals, his eyes reflecting a calm but knowing expression that hints at hidden depths and unspoken intentions. The text reveals the legendary title of a powerful fighter, hinting at a notorious reputation and setting the stage for an intense confrontation. The speaker acknowledges the presence of many talented individuals who signed up for this year's competition, hinting at the high stakes ahead. The man with long, flowing gray hair faces the ancient temple, his expression unreadable as a strong wind stirs around him, hinting at a looming confrontation or hidden resolve. A figure sitting on the throne praises the assembled group as the best of the best, setting a tone of high stakes and expectation. The young woman speaks with a calm intensity, telling someone they may be proud of themselves, hinting at a deeper meaning behind her words. Jinsu Kazuhiro declares that the young man will become the future of Muram, hinting at the heavy responsibility and expectations resting on his shoulders. A man raises his arms loudly announcing the beginning of the entrance ceremony with a powerful voice that fills the air, signaling an important event about to unfold. A tense heartbeat echoes in the silence, signaling an imminent confrontation or a secret about to unfold. Heavy footsteps approach relentlessly, signaling the arrival of an unknown and possibly dangerous force. A grand ceremony is set with rows of attendants in blue and pink robes facing an empty throne, hinting at the arrival of a powerful figure whose presence could change everything. A young woman introduces herself enthusiastically to the seniors, signaling eagerness and a desire to make a strong first impression. A man interrupts a woman's polite introduction with a sharp call to get her attention. The large warrior clenches his fist with threatening resolve, while the man behind him watches with a calm, knowing smile, hinting at a dangerous plan unfolding. The young man smiles calmly, surprising others with his unexpected reaction. The large man in blue steps forward with clenched fists as a smaller figure in the same color braces himself anxiously, while two people in pink watch from behind with tense expressions, hinting at an impending confrontation. A man with a stern expression and a large build stands silently while a woman with a calm yet slightly mocking tone reminds someone she promised to visit more often. The young man coldly remarks that the opponent's previous minions were weaklings and acknowledges they have brought stronger allies this time, while the girl listens with a tense expression, sensing the rising threat. The large man clenches his fist and smashes the ground fiercely while the calm figure behind him watches quietly, hinting at a powerful alliance ready to unleash devastating force. The gathered men exchange worried glances as they face the imposing throne in the background, signaling a tense meeting where the stakes are unmistakably high. The man with a headband reacts with anger at the unexpected actions of others, while the long-haired man calmly insists they should not interfere because those involved are forming alliances. The man nervously agrees to something while internally resenting that even the vice dean supports his rival. The young man offers a bottle with a confident smile, implying a hidden intention behind his seemingly friendly gesture. A liquid is poured steadily into a cup, the calm scene hinting at a quiet moment before tension arises. A thick liquid is poured steadily into a small cup, creating ripples and spilling slightly onto the surface below, hinting at an important ritual or preparation about to unfold. Jinsu Kazuhiro and Akira watch intently as a mysterious golden liquid slowly pours into a dark container, their expressions reflecting anticipation and unspoken tension about what this signifies. The bulky man demands to know what the two young women are doing as the smaller man cautiously tries to clean up a spill on the table, hinting at rising tension in the gathering. A hand fills a cup with liquid while demanding everyone to drink up, implying urgency or a forced toast. The fist strikes with overwhelming force, shattering a small, volatile creature in an instant, hinting at the brutal intensity of the battle ahead. The group of men react with shock and sweat as they suddenly realize something alarming while gathered around a table full of food in front of a throne. The tense man glares fiercely while the nervous companion hesitates as he holds a bottle over a broken cup, clearly uncertain about what to do next. The young man demands a precise second attempt, warning that the first was too much and insisting it be done correctly this time. A large man angrily threatens to teach a harsh lesson while a calm warrior with long silver hair commands him to stop, and Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently observing. The young man pours a drink with a steady hand, while the group around the table watches with tense anticipation as the offering is made. The man with a rugged face remains calm and focused despite the chaotic commotion caused by the other figure beside him, whose wild expression and gesture hint at a reckless outburst that threatens to escalate the situation. The large man warns that causing more trouble is pointless, while the others sit quietly, weighing the tense atmosphere at the table. The character warns Hayuk Ryanwi that he will regret his actions someday, hinting at looming consequences. Jinsu Kazuhiro responds to an unseen opponent with a confident retort, implying equal challenge and resolve. The large man urges to leave immediately, casting a sharp glance back that hints at urgency and unseen danger. A man hides behind a pillar, cautiously observing a distant temple courtyard where people are gathered under hanging lanterns. The glowing lanterns hang quietly against the fading light of dusk, hinting at a celebration yet to unfold. The gathering of men dressed in traditional attire raises their cups in a solemn toast, signaling unity and a shared resolve despite an underlying tension in the atmosphere. The character expresses despair, realizing that no help will come to their aid. The girl complains bitterly about being bullied on the first day, while the young man calmly points out that at least no one is bothering them. The young man reacts with surprise while the woman declares she will bring reinforcements because she can no longer tolerate the situation. The young woman demands to know where the man is going and warns him to wait immediately. A red flag flutters wildly in the wind against the backdrop of a traditional building at sunset, signaling an impending challenge or unrest. The young man cautiously observes the lively courtyard filled with red lanterns, as the warm light of sunset casts long shadows, signaling a moment of calm before something unseen stirs. A woman unexpectedly leans around a corner eagerly greeting someone, catching the young man off guard. The main character narrows his eyes sharply, sensing a sudden and unexpected threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro looks up with a calm but distant expression, as if he's bracing himself for what is to come, while leaves drift down around him, hinting at a moment of quiet before an impending storm. A cheerful woman eagerly invites someone to join and drink, while the young man resists, clearly uncomfortable and trying to refuse their offer. The woman notices a tipped-over bowl and reacts with surprise, sensing something unexpected has happened. The sun sets over an ancient building marked by a faded red sign, hinting at secrets and history within its walls. The man with round glasses holds out a card towards someone, his expression calm but carrying an unspoken challenge. Jinsu Kazuhiro reads aloud about the dangerous five-poison demon and explains his feared signature move, signaling the looming threat. The scene reveals a collection of venomous creatures symbolizing mastery in poison arts, hinting at a deadly skill set and looming danger. The fighter demonstrates his deadly skill in dagger throwing, while the narration reveals he has poisoned and killed over 30 skilled martial artists, highlighting his lethal expertise and the threat he poses. Jinsu Kazuhiro reads a report describing an assassin who uses undetectable methods to slowly kill victims while disguised as a repeating student, revealing the deadly stealth behind the quiet facade. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes sharply, questioning the possibility of being in the Illusion Academy, his voice laced with disbelief and a hint of tension. The banquet erupts into rowdy cheers and toasts as guests in contrasting blue and pink robes clink their cups and exchange laughter, hinting at underlying rivalries beneath the festive atmosphere. Two men mockingly greet someone called Junior and insist he doesn't need to be treated, their laughter filled with cruel amusement. The girl reacts with surprise to the man's sharp correction that the person they discuss is not a regular student but a repeating one, hinting at underlying tension and judgment. The girl questions the situation, expressing surprise that something is happening again. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions if the term refers to someone intentionally repeating at the academy because they haven't graduated, implying a deliberate act rather than failure. Jinsu Kazuhiro reveals that someone within the academy is aiding the dangerous five-poison demon in exchange for the loyalty of the deadly Five Lightning sect as assassins, while ominous glowing eyes loom behind him. A hand holds a delicate bottle while a voice expresses frustration or emphasis. The young man offers a drink out of respect for his senior and encourages him to drink as much as he wants, while the other responds with a simple thanks. The guy quietly pours tea while asking for the other's name, hinting at a cautious attempt to uncover identity. Jinsu Kazuhiro carefully reads a letter that reveals the name Yang Wusing, hinting at a crucial revelation or connection. The inner voice urgently recognizes someone important, signaling a crucial moment about to unfold. The man raises a cup with a cheerful expression, offering a toast filled with hidden intentions. The character recalls the painful truth about the one responsible for his brother's death, revealing a deep-seated desire for vengeance and justice that drives him forward. The bold and jagged title Demon King bursts with electric energy, promising a fierce and unpredictable story behind it. The full moon illuminates the ancient temple, casting a mystical glow that hints at secrets and impending fate hidden within its walls. Jinsu Kazuhiro and Akira lie awake next to each other in the dimly lit room, both caught in restless thoughts that hint at unspoken worries and a looming challenge neither dares to voice. Jinsu Kazuhiro leans back with his hands behind his head, his stern gaze revealing a calm determination masking a brewing tension. The girl insists that pouring one more drink is how friendships truly begin, hinting at her desire to deepen their bond. Jinsu Kazuhiro leans back with his hands behind his head, his sharp eyes surveying the scene with calm calculation, masking the tension beneath his stern expression. The young man laughs mockingly, insisting that being a repeating student doesn't change his seniority, and boasts about the alcohol tasting sweet today, urging to continue drinking. Jinsu Kazuhiro reacts with surprise as a man aggressively challenges him to fight, trying to provoke the main character into a confrontation. The young man grabs another by the collar and demands to know what he just said, his voice filled with sharp anger and a warning of consequences. Jinsu Kazuhiro, dazed and half awake, reacts with confusion as the other person accuses him of mentioning a repeating student in his sleep. The guy questions a man about the reliability of what someone says in their sleep, hinting at doubt and potential hidden truths behind those words. Jinsu Kazuhiro insists that the senior he met was a repeating student and urgently demands to know if the other person remembers his name. Jinsu Kazuhiro murmurs a name hesitantly, struggling to remember it. The young man urgently calls out the name Yang Wusing, his voice filled with a pressing concern. The young man urgently confirms the identity of Yang Wusing, pressing a finger to his lips to demand silence. The man runs desperately forward in terror, while the silhouette of Jinsu Kazuhiro stands ominously on the rooftop, and the close-up reveals the man's shock and dread as he realizes the imminent danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro suddenly wakes up with a startled movement as someone else firmly stands beside the bed, signaling an urgent or threatening presence in the room. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes with a fierce, unyielding gaze, revealing the weight of a dangerous decision looming in the shadows. The ancient temple complex basks in the morning light, its serene silence hinting at secrets waiting to unfold within its walls. The flowers tremble as an unseen force releases energy around them, hinting at a hidden power about to awaken. The young man waters the flowers with a calm but focused demeanor, hinting at patience and care behind his quiet task. The man reveals the name of a mysterious item called the Golden Friend Flower, hinting at its significance. Jinsu Kazuhiro remarks that the flowers are rare in Zhongyuan since they come from Nanmen, and mentions that the tea made from them is reputed to be very good, revealing his knowledge while gauging the other's reaction. The young man, stunned, admits he has never encountered anyone with such a keen appreciation for flowers, despite years of caring for the garden as a repeating student. The man awkwardly invites the stern young man to his home for tea, and the latter acknowledges the invitation as an honor. A young man introduces himself as Yang Wuseng, breaking the silence with an unexpected openness that hints at a deeper significance behind his sudden self-revelation. The young man introduces himself calmly as a new student, his gaze steady and hinting at hidden intentions beneath his composed expression. The candle burns steadily in the dark, its melting wax symbolizing the fleeting nature of time and the quiet tension before an impending revelation. The man in glasses explains to the others that the deceased was known as the Double-Edged Blade and was assassinated by the Five-Poison Demon, hinting at a dangerous conspiracy behind his death. A decayed figure with hollow eyes suddenly appears from beneath the surface, while a hand cautiously lifts a covering, revealing the terrifying sight. A muscular man coughs in shock as two investigators examine a covered body, noting that the poison was so effective it killed without causing the usual blood vomiting. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions in disbelief if no blood was spilled, revealing his suspicion about the nature of the confrontation. The quiet street basks in the gentle sunlight, casting long shadows from the red lanterns that hang silently, evoking a calm before the storm. The main character's hand firmly holds a cup with a single leaf floating inside, hinting at a moment of calm before a deeper revelation or tension. The two characters exchange polite gratitude for the precious tea and the true value of the flowers, hinting at an undercurrent of deeper appreciation and possible hidden intentions. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly comments on the unexpected hobby of gardening within the Illusion Academy while offering a drink, catching the other man off guard. The guy apologizes for seeming rude and explains that he didn't mean it that way, while the other man admits his failure to train enough led to his inability to graduate, hinting at underlying regret and unresolved tension between them. The character realizes that curfew is near and decides to return before it starts, sensing the weight of time pressing down. The guy comments with a hint of regret that he will offer better tea next time. The girl expresses her worry about being a burden. The young man reassures her he enjoyed their time together, and she promises they will meet again, hinting at a deeper connection beyond this moment. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes with intense focus, while the man behind him smiles subtly, suggesting hidden motives behind their calm appearance. The character reflects with disgust that the victim's foolish appearance is likely what deceived others into lowering their defenses, hinting at a dangerous cunning beneath the surface. Jinsu Kazuhiro strides through the glowing forest at night, his clenched fist hinting at a determined purpose beneath the serene but mysterious atmosphere. Jinsu Kazuhiro commands a report, and a shirtless man confirms they examined the victims' bodies, noting their resemblance to Jinsu's brothers, while the tension of the investigation lingers in the air. The young man observes that the poison left no blood or decay, and the other explains that such a rare toxin can only be used by the Five-Poison Demon, hinting at a deeper danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro asks about the status of the Five Lightning Sect, revealing concern over a potential threat or unresolved issue. Jinsu Kazuhiro states that they have already investigated the matter, hinting at thorough preparation despite the looming threat. The young man urgently demands to be guided to their location, while the two men hesitate and question the immediacy of the request. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions the point of stalling, while the nervous man explains it's necessary to delay because a roll call is scheduled in 2 hours. The young man loudly declares time is up, mocking the slow pace of an opponent as he walks away with resolute determination. A group of armed men gather outside the fortress gates under a crescent moon, tense as the night deepens and an unseen threat looms. Jinsu Kazuhiro listens silently as a man raises his fist and shouts with fervor, making his passionate determination clear while the young warrior remains composed, hiding any reaction behind a calm facade. The young man cautiously watches three imposing figures approaching through the shadowy forest, sensing the imminent danger they bring. Jinsu Kazuhiro demands to know who Mok Jong is, his stern expression hinting at a deeper concern behind the question. The warrior challenges the intruder for daring to ask about their sect leader, but the man with the long black ponytail boldly claims that their leader is actually the Five-Poison Demon, hinting at a deeper and more dangerous truth. The main character narrows his eyes, questioning about the Five-Poison Demon, while the man behind him reacts with shock and fear. The group demands to kill the opposing fighters, while the lone warrior responds with silent defiance, hinting at a brewing conflict that could cost them dearly. The young man runs in panic, questioning how their secret was discovered, his fear evident in his sweating face and wide eyes. The guy mockingly asks if they have a trumpet or some signal for danger, while the other person reacts with confusion. The guy calmly asks to bring everyone here to save time, hiding the ominous presence of two shadowy figures with glowing eyes behind him. The man lashes out fiercely, declaring that there are only 3 of them, startling the dark-haired figure who watches him intently. A monstrous roar shakes the battlefield as the fighters brace themselves, and a warrior remarks on the terrifying power behind the enemy's scream, hinting at the deadly challenge they face ahead. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches silently as a wave of headless warriors bursts through the gate, their relentless charge signaling an imminent and deadly confrontation. Chaos erupts as a sudden, powerful explosion breaks through the gates, scattering the guards and signaling an unexpected assault. A defeated figure lies on the ground surrounded by a large group of armed men closing in, their threatening posture hinting at the cost of failure. The text reveals that a crucial secret name has been exposed, hinting at impending consequences from this dangerous leak. The warrior wipes sweat from his brow, his hardened expression revealing both fatigue and resolve despite the pressure building around him. The warrior contemplates the grim necessity of killing all his trainees despite the effort he invested in training them. The warrior slams his fist down with force while the young man confidently threatens his opponent, declaring him as good as dead. The main character thinks about the urgent need to capture the targets alive to uncover the source of the leaked information. Jinsu Kazuhiro delivers a powerful punch that sends a shockwave through his enemies, causing them to be violently thrown back. The force of the strike explodes around him, scattering the opponents in a dazzling display of strength and precision. The young man's attack leaves no room for doubt, asserting. The man with the top knot shouts in shock, questioning where the threat is coming from, his wide eyes and sweating face revealing his sudden fear and confusion. The giant opens his mouth in shock as the mysterious warrior leaps through the air under the crescent moon, preparing to strike with deadly precision. Jinsu Kazuhiro delivers a powerful, lightning-fast strike with overwhelming force, shattering the enemy's defense and pushing the battle toward a critical turning point. The powerful title Demon King bursts onto the scene with electrifying energy, setting a fierce tone of conflict and destiny. The title Demon King flashes boldly with electric sparks hinting at a powerful and dark force about to be unleashed, setting the stage for an epic and intense story where strength and danger collide. Jinsu Kazuhiro launches a powerful strike with focused determination, his movements swift and precise, as if every attack holds a crucial consequence. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes with fierce determination, his powerful punch shattering the rocks falling towards him, revealing his unyielding resolve in the face of danger. The large stone-faced figure notices a small, glowing, explosive projectile rapidly approaching, signaling imminent danger. Explosions erupt violently around the fighters, causing chaos as they are caught in the blast, forcing them to recoil in shock and alarm. The fighter delivers a powerful punch, breaking through the opponent's defense and causing debris to scatter around them. The fighter launches a powerful punch that shatters the darkness around him, spreading fragments and debris in a dramatic burst. The man with blue hair taunts an anxious opponent by claiming the thrill of killing is fun, while holding a finger close to the other's face, who trembles in fear. The muscular fighter suddenly strikes down multiple opponents, causing one of them to drop his sword in shock and fear. The fighter clenches his fist surrounded by fiery energy, rejecting something with firm refusal. The fighter delivers a powerful, sweeping strike that shatters the air with lethal force, signaling a critical turning point in the battle. The warrior narrowly escapes a deadly, sweeping red energy slash that tears through the air behind him, hinting at a formidable opponent's overwhelming strength. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches as a warrior with a spear is struck down by a powerful unseen force, the explosion of debris signaling a deadly attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro delivers a powerful, lightning-fast strike that shatters the enemy's defense and sends them reeling, his fierce determination shining through the surge of energy around him. A warrior grits his teeth and gasps in pain or desperation as a sword presses against his forehead with crackling energy surrounding them, signaling a critical and dangerous moment. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes with a precise finger flick, forcing his opponent to land hard on the ground, hinting at the young man's overwhelming control and the foe's desperate struggle. The man grimaces in tension, realizing the attack was barely blocked thanks to his inner energy, while questioning the strength of his opponent. The young man addresses Grief Spear Mak Jong, suggesting he must be skilled to be the fake sect leader of the Five Lightning Sect, while the silent figure worries about how much their enemies really know. Jinsu Kazuhiro challenges his opponent with urgency, revealing he must return before curfew. The man reacts with shock and disbelief upon hearing about the curfew, expressing that this news is absurd at this moment. The furious man threatens to tear his opponent apart, his clenched fist crackling with ominous energy, revealing his deadly determination despite the sweat and scars marking his face. Jinsu Kazuhiro unleashes a powerful attack called Lethal Torrent Inhalation, sending a deadly torrent crashing downward with fierce energy. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly faces a barrage of sharp projectiles flying straight at him, showing no sign of fear or hesitation as the danger looms near. A powerful force slashes through the air with overwhelming speed and energy, signaling a fierce and decisive attack. The man's eyes widen in shock and disbelief, his body trembling as he utters a stunned exclamation that reveals he has just realized something unexpected and possibly dangerous. The armored man panics as his spear strikes empty air, stunned by the sudden disappearance of his target. The young man swiftly dodges the spear thrust with a tense expression, showing sharp reflexes against a looming threat. The main character unleashes a rapid flurry of precise finger strikes, overwhelming his opponent who attempts to block with a weapon. The man grimaces in shock and pain as a powerful strike lands on his shoulder, the impact echoing with a sharp sound. A man struggles to move and asks the figure before him about their identity, while the warrior stands silently with a commanding presence. The main character clenches his hand as flames ignite around it, declaring that the other person does not deserve to know the truth. The warrior descends swiftly through the flames, his hand reaching out as if to control or challenge the raging fire below, hinting at a fierce confrontation or a desperate attempt to contain destruction. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands with a stern expression as an explosion erupts behind him, leaving destruction in its wake, his aura exuding a dangerous power that hints at the deadly consequences of his actions. The man announces the start of the roll call, his voice cutting through the tense silence as he strides purposefully into the grand hall. The woman paces anxiously, wondering when the man will return, revealing her restless anticipation and hidden worries. The young man reacts with surprise to the sudden arrival of a stern-looking instructor entering the room. Jinsu Kazuhiro enters the room and expresses shock at what he sees, sensing that something is wrong. A man questions loudly why someone is sleeping during roll call, while a woman hurriedly insists that he is sick, prompting the man to demand an explanation. A woman urgently warns the instructor that touching the patient may cause infection, while he angrily retorts that she should have reported the infectious disease sooner. The woman and the man react with surprise as something unexpected happens nearby, their expressions and gestures showing sudden alarm and confusion. Jinsu Kazuhiro, drenched and wiping water from his long hair, asks if it is time for the roll call, revealing a readiness beneath his calm exterior. The girl covers her face with her hands in fear, while the stern man stands before her, showing no sympathy. The man pulls a straw doll wearing a robe off the bed with a startled reaction, sensing an unexpected and ominous discovery. The girl nervously tries to explain herself to the angry man, whose clenched teeth and harsh expression reveal his growing frustration. The girl is struck by a man and immediately apologizes to the stern observer, hinting at a harsh lesson and growing tension between student and teacher. A monstrous figure with hollow eyes and a gaping mouth emerges amidst swirling dark debris, conveying imminent danger and a foreboding threat. The warrior stands silently before the ruins of the Five Lightning Sect, haunted by the devastation and questioning who could have dared to destroy what he devoted his life to building. The character wonders aloud if others were familiar with the ominous title, Five Poison Demon, suggesting a looming threat or dark reputation. The figure orders his followers not to confront him until they identify who the man is, and they respond with urgent agreement. The fighter stands unmoved amidst the descending impact strikes that shatter the ground around him. A figure with glowing green eyes asks if the man found out who it was, and the man nervously admits that he did not. A man gasps violently, choking as a powerful hand clamps around his throat, silencing him abruptly. A man warns someone not to appear before him until they understand something important, then stammers about a new quest that surprises the other. A man nervously stammers an offer of 20,000 yang while accidentally raising his hand, causing a sudden sharp reaction from the person opposite him. The guy explains that the condition is to kill the target slowly without letting them realize they are dying, confidently claiming that this is his specialty, while the man beside him coughs heavily. The young man questions the price and the target of the contract, then is told to kill a student from the Illusion Academy. The young man reacts with sudden shock and confusion, his eyes wide as if an unexpected revelation just dawned on him. Jinsu Kazuhiro raises a cup in a calm gesture, while the man in front of him reacts with a nervous and almost fearful grin, suggesting a tense and uncertain exchange between them. The night sky is filled with stars above the dark silhouettes of leaves, illuminated by flickering fireflies, suggesting a quiet yet mysterious atmosphere fraught with unseen possibilities. A quiet pile of stones lies abandoned in the eerie forest, lit only by mysterious glowing lights that hint at an unseen presence watching from the shadows. The silhouette of a figure emerges from the dark forest, moving cautiously toward a mysterious pile of stones illuminated faintly by glowing fireflies, hinting at a hidden secret or approaching danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro cautiously breaks through a stone barrier in the eerie forest under the watchful flicker of fireflies, sensing the danger that might lie beyond. The man discovers a small, mysterious folded paper hidden in the rock and holds it up, sensing its unexpected importance. The man triumphantly confirms that the answer is correct, revealing his confidence in the rising stakes behind his victory. Jinsu Kazuhiro reads a message with a composed smile, his expression hiding deeper intentions behind calm words. The bold and jagged title Demon King surges with electrifying energy, hinting at a fierce and tumultuous battle to come. The image presents a grim figure known as the Demon King with glowing eyes, hinting at a dark and powerful presence behind the shadowy facade. The ancient palace basks in the morning sun, its silent grandeur hinting at hidden intrigues and unspoken power struggles beneath the serene exterior. The warriors train relentlessly around wooden dummies, each strike echoing discipline and the unspoken promise of battles yet to come. Jinsu Kazuhiro holds his sword forward with a stern expression, signaling readiness and warning that any mistake could be costly. The fighter launches a rapid, powerful strike with his sword amid a flurry of opponents, each attempting to overwhelm him, but falling short against his focused determination. Jinsu Kazuhiro prepares for a decisive strike, his focused expression overlaying a tense mental clash where his resolve faces an unseen adversary, hinting at the high stakes behind his impending attack. A man's head is swiftly sliced through the middle by a shining blade, capturing the brutal precision and deadly speed of the attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro throws a sharp object with focused intensity as smoke and debris scatter, revealing the precision and danger behind his strike in the quiet courtyard. Jinsu Kazuhiro suddenly turns back with a sharp, alert look, sensing an unexpected presence nearby. The fighter spins gracefully with dual swords raised, preparing to strike the approaching enemies, his movements blending elegance and lethal intent. The girl swings her sword with fierce determination, moving swiftly and precisely as if every strike holds the weight of a crucial battle. Jinsu Kazuhiro realizes with surprise that she fights using twin blades, hinting at unexpected skill or strategy that could shift the balance of conflict. The bold title Demon King smashes across the scene with crackling electric energy, signaling the start of a fierce and supernatural saga. The young man remains calm and composed while the girl expresses relief that they have finally finished their task. Someone urgently commands to stop, signaling an immediate and critical interruption. Jinsu Kazuhiro suddenly turns his head with sharp attention, sensing something unexpected that demands his focus. The guy points to deep scars and explains that they are marks of past suffering that hint at a hidden story behind his stoic exterior. Jinsu Kazuhiro asks what is wrong while the girl pants heavily and demands he notice her abnormal breathing. The girl confronts the shirtless man about the blood-soaked clothes he took off last night, expressing her worry, while he insists the blood is not his, hinting at a hidden danger or recent conflict. Jinsu Kazuhiro catches a heavy wooden object flying toward his chest, his eyes wide with sudden alertness as he braces for impact. The young man admits reluctantly while the shirtless warrior accuses him of washing something, showing a mix of frustration and disbelief in their exchange. A woman entrusts him with the responsibility for the day, but he suddenly bursts out of the window, leaving her confused and asking for clarification. The girl bursts through the window fiercely, warning someone that they must stop sneaking out so often, her words carrying both frustration and concern. The glowing lanterns cast long shadows on the ancient walls as the sun sets, hinting at the calm before an imminent storm. The young man expresses his gratitude for being invited once again, hinting at a complicated relationship beneath his composed demeanor. The man pours tea while expressing that he enjoys talking to the other person, who watches silently from a distance. The hand sprinkles a fine powder into the broken container, hinting at a delicate but crucial ritual about to unfold. Jinsu Kazuhiro smiles quietly with a confident calmness, signaling his assured control over the situation. The young man announces he has prepared a more special tea today while pouring it into a cup. Jinsu Kazuhiro appreciates the aroma of the drink and remarks to the other person that it has a lasting deep flavor, suggesting a moment of calm but with potential underlying significance. The young man takes a quiet sip from a cup, his gesture deliberate and calm, hinting at a gathering tension beneath the surface. The young man calmly drinks from the cup, his eyes sharply focused as if anticipating what comes next. The man calmly places a cup on the table and asks if the other person knows about a rare herb called the spirit bane herb, hinting at the importance of that knowledge. The man nervously admits he has never heard of the substance before, while the man with long black hair explains that consuming it alone causes no symptoms, but when combined with a void spirit root, it leads to death within 2 hours. Jinsu Kazuhiro explains with steady conviction that the poison he describes is perfect for covert assassinations, hinting at a dangerous knowledge that could tip the balance of hidden conflicts. The young man questions the other about his supposed interest in medicinal herbs, but the man sitting opposite clarifies that he is only interested in flowers and denies the assumption. Jinsu Kazuhiro questions if the tea he is holding was made with the dangerous spirit bane herb, hinting at suspicion and underlying threat in the moment. The young man's eyes widen sharply in sudden realization, a bead of sweat betraying the tension he feels as danger looms unexpectedly close. The young man reminds his opponent that the original order was to kill him, revealing the deadly stakes behind their confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro demands to know if the other man was truly behind the quest, his sharp gaze cornering the startled figure who recoils in fear. The warrior tightly grips his weapon, expressing sudden pain and tension as if sensing an imminent threat. A man angrily raises his arm to strike, causing Jinsu Kazuhiro to react with sharp alertness, sensing imminent danger. The man suddenly attacks with raised fist, showing desperation while the opponent remains calm, ready to counter the strike. The man clenches his hand tightly around a green, snake-like object hidden inside his clothing, hinting at a concealed danger or secret weapon. The warrior abruptly grabs a green snake by the head, seizing control in a tense moment that hints at imminent danger. The man nervously admits he intended to kill without causing pain, while showing a green snake-shaped ring on his hand. The young man dodges a flurry of fast attacks, defiantly rejecting the enemy's challenge with firm resolve. The young man kicks the table forcefully, signaling his frustration or anger. Jinsu Kazuhiro slams a heavy table down with such force that the ground beneath him cracks, showing his overwhelming power and determination. The rapid tapping sounds echo sharply as something strikes the wooden surface, hinting at an urgent or intense moment unfolding. The man lunges forward with urgent force, sweat dripping as an object flies past his shoulder, showing he narrowly avoided danger. A powerful strike lands on the table with a sharp impact, shaking the surroundings and signaling the start of a tense confrontation. The young man raises a wooden plank with intense effort, breaking through an obstacle as debris flies around him. The young warrior grips his sword tightly, anxiously questioning the whereabouts of the one who destroyed the Five Lightning sect, as tension fills the grand hall. Someone declares emphatically that they were also involved or responsible. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently behind the man, whose fearful and sweating expression reveals his anxiety under the warrior's intense, unyielding gaze. The man strikes fiercely with his sword, his expression intense and unyielding, as if every move could decide life or death. The young man delivers a brutal strike to his opponent's chest, causing him to cry out in pain as the impact shatters his defense. The man testing his balance abruptly loses it and stumbles backward while the stern fighter commands him to reveal his true skill as the rightful master of the feared Five Lightning Sect and the Five Poison Demon. Jinsu Kazuhiro speaks with a serious tone, warning of an impending danger that demands immediate attention. The man's hand burns violently, showing signs of powerful transformation. He declares that if someone was responsible for burning down the Five Lightning Sect, he will not allow that person to die peacefully, revealing his thirst for harsh vengeance. Jinsu Kazuhiro unleashes a rapid barrage of palm strikes called 12 Flamingo Palms, overwhelming his opponent with relentless force. The fighter narrowly blocks a powerful blow, his focused expression revealing his determination to withstand the intense attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro inspects a burning wound on his shoulder, his stern gaze revealing a calm determination despite the threat it carries. Jinsu Kazuhiro swiftly dodges a lethal attack, his calm composure hinting at a deeper mastery as the enemy's deadly hands miss their mark by inches. The guy blocks a powerful strike with his hand, the impact shattering the ground beneath, signaling a fierce struggle with no sign of yielding. A terrified young man warns that his hand is covered in poison as he is bitten by a creature. The guy seizes someone by the neck and suggests using poison, revealing a ruthless and desperate plan lurking beneath his calm exterior. The man screams in terror and collapses to his knees, recoiling in horror from the imposing figure standing before him. Jinsu Kazuhiro points menacingly at a kneeling man who recoils in fear, clearly overwhelmed by the relentless barrage of invisible attacks symbolized by multiple phantom hands. The young man remains calm and resolute as the kneeling figure trembles in fear, clearly overwhelmed by his presence and unable to stand against him. The man with long hair walking away calmly suggests assessing the situation while the terrified young man chokes on his fear. The young man gasps in shock while someone kneels and quietly confirms that they have found what they were looking for, hinting at a tense moment of discovery. Jinsu Kazuhiro reveals he knows the man planned to use a poisoned herb for tea, warning that in 2 hours he would be dead like his brother Hyuk Raiwan. The man's face is drenched in sweat, his eyes wide with shock as he suddenly realizes something alarming. The young man, drenched in sweat and overwhelmed, realizes the figure before him is his older brother and the true successor, sparking a tense and fateful confrontation. A heated conversation unfolds as the boy assures he has no intention of using the situation to blackmail, while a pot bubbles intensely on the stove, adding tension and an unspoken threat to the scene. A trembling man pleads desperately as the dominant figure threatens to kill him regardless of any confession. Jinsu Kazuhiro warns the trembling man that he could suffer the same pain as his brother while calmly holding a steaming cup. A stream of hot liquid splashes with force, suggesting urgency and potential danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches intently as a mysterious force slowly reveals a fragmented, ghostly face before him, signaling an unfolding secret. The young man chokes violently as liquid is forcibly poured down his throat, signaling a desperate and painful moment. A ceramic teapot shatters explosively into countless fragments, marking a sudden and dramatic moment in the story. The warrior faces a fiery explosion, his stance unyielding amidst the chaos as smoke and debris swirl around him. A glowing red command fiercely declares death, signaling an imminent and deadly confrontation filled with lethal intent. The image shows the dramatic title, Demon King, with electric sparks around the bold letters, setting the tone for a tense and powerful story to unfold. 3 men stand before a traditional building entrance, their postures tense as if anticipating a significant confrontation or decision inside. Jinsu Kazuhiro states they will check his survival in an hour, and the other man acknowledges the order without hesitation. Jinsu Kazuhiro orders his subordinates not to lessen a prisoner's pain, and the fighters respond with a determined acknowledgement. A heavy boot stomps forcefully on the ground, signaling the arrival of a powerful and determined presence. The young man narrows his eyes with fierce determination, silently preparing for an imminent confrontation that could change everything. The young man raises his head abruptly, his gaze sharpening as if sensing an unseen threat approaching. A man is running towards a figure in the foreground, urgently calling him brother, hinting at an important or sudden message. The young man excitedly urges to go watch a group of 5 entertainers at the market, his enthusiasm clear as he claps his hands. The young man's eyes widen in shock and his lips part slightly as he realizes the gravity of the situation unfolding before him. A girl excitedly agrees to something that sounds fun and urges to go, while a boy urgently tells her to wait and hold on as they run together down the street. Jinsu Kazuhiro utters the name Riwon with a grave intensity, hinting at a deep concern or unresolved conflict. The warrior clenches his fist tightly as blue energy crackles fiercely around it, his gritted teeth revealing the intense strain behind his determination. Jinsu Kazuhiro unleashes a surge of electrifying power from his clenched hand, his glowing eye and tense expression revealing the immense strength he commands in this critical moment. The furious vow is made to punish those responsible for a deadly betrayal, promising relentless vengeance beyond the grave. The serene night sky casts a glowing full moon above the ancient temple, hinting at secrets hidden within its shadows. The main character cautiously takes a step forward, the tense silence emphasizing the weight of his movement. The young woman moves stealthily across the room, her careful steps revealing a mix of caution and urgency as she prepares for what lies ahead. The young man reacts with surprise to a sudden greeting that implies an unexpected reunion after a long time. Akira turns her head suddenly, her wide eyes revealing a growing realization or suspicion. The man announces that the attack missed, his expression calm but carrying a subtle challenge. The bold title Demon King crackles with electric energy, hinting at a powerful and ominous presence that sets the stage for a fierce and supernatural conflict to come. A dark figure stands against a glowing circle, revealing the cult leader whose influence made the demonic cult reign supreme, hinting at a looming and dangerous power. An aged warrior sits on a cracked throne, his posture heavy with the weight of time that even his strength could not resist. An old man sits sternly on a cracked throne while angry shadows of two figures argue behind him, signaling a power struggle among the ruling class as his influence fades. An old man sits on a cracked throne with a stern expression while shadowy figures brandish weapons around him, illustrating the rise of forces aiming to revive the orthodox factions. The calm night sky shimmers quietly above dark foliage, hinting at secrets hidden beneath the peaceful surface. The man explains that their goal as the traitorous Heavens group is to reclaim the three treasures of the Martial Alliance, and stresses the need for a symbol to unite the scattered Orthodox forces. An older man offers help with life at the academy, but the young woman warns that assistance from someone so high-ranking could expose their secret identity. The man warns about the danger of having a roommate from the demonic cult, hinting at an ominous consequence. The girl urgently demands to leave the young man alone, while the man behind her acknowledges her warning with understanding. The woman instructs to part for now and promises to make contact once the plan is ready, and the man responds obediently, acknowledging her command. The man bows deeply before the grand gate, showing respect while the quiet atmosphere hints at the weight of the moment and the importance of what awaits beyond. The man apologizes to the woman, his expression serious and somber. The man looks up at the crescent moon, his posture suggesting a moment of reflection or anticipation under the quiet night sky. The guy insists on his duty to protect the other person, revealing a sense of responsibility and underlying tension about the consequences. The sky is clear and bright as birds soar freely, hinting at a moment of calm before a hidden threat emerges. Akira senses an unusual tension in the air and quietly questions the strange mood surrounding her. The girl expresses her feeling of being excluded from the group, hinting at a deeper emotional struggle beneath the surface. The girl asks if no one was beaten up and comments that their opponents are avoiding them, while the guy responds that it's good because now no one will stand in their way. The young man gazes forward with a steely expression, his mind tense as if preparing for an inevitable challenge ahead. The narrator explains that the demonic cult members are showing clear hostility, hinting at an imminent confrontation. A group of Orthodox clan members stand paralyzed by fear, clearly unwilling to take any action despite mounting tension. Jinsu Kazuhiro feels a growing unease and senses that a significant, potentially dangerous event is about to unfold. A commanding voice calls out urgently to gather everyone's attention, signaling that something important or alarming is about to be revealed. The warrior stands confidently before a group of students in red uniforms, announcing that he teaches weaponry and intends to assess their current skills before starting. A man with a stern expression loudly announces the beginning of the sparring matches, signaling the start of a tense and decisive confrontation. The group of fighters looks surprised and tense as thoughts arise about sparring from the first class, hinting at the looming challenge ahead. The man in charge asks who will volunteer first, and a man from the crowd immediately raises his fist, declaring his willingness, which surprises Jinsu Kazuhiro. A man in blue demands that the other man choose his opponent, setting the stage for a tense confrontation. The crowd demands someone to come out, reacting with shock and disbelief upon recognizing the tall, stern man with long hair pulled back in a high ponytail as Jinsu Kazuhiro. The woman reveals that he immediately volunteered and singled someone out, hinting at an unexpected or deliberate choice. A powerful shout breaks the silence, signaling a moment charged with urgency and impending confrontation. The man wearing intricate armor smiles confidently, conveying a sense of assured power and hidden intent against the stark red backdrop. The girl expresses her certainty that the enemy could easily manipulate both the teacher and students, revealing a dangerous threat lurking behind their trust. The crowd shouts loudly as two fighters stand ready in the empty square, while a man in blue watches calmly from a raised platform. The girl reacts with shock as the group around her also turns tense, sensing an imminent threat that demands their full attention. The warrior swings his sword aggressively while questioning the strange behavior of his opponent. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands firm, gripping his spear, his sharp eyes scanning the horizon as if anticipating a threat that could change everything. The fighter calculates that rushing in quickly will guarantee victory because of his sword's advantage, while danger looms around the crouching opponent. The man commands to begin sparring, igniting tension and anticipation for the imminent clash. A man in red clothes launches a powerful downward strike while a figure with long black hair braces for impact. The tension between their clash electric. The girl reacts with sudden shock, silently grasping the gravity of unexpected news or a looming threat. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently, his hand gripping the hilt of his sword as he prepares for an imminent confrontation. The tense man moves swiftly toward Jinsu Kazuhiro, whose calm and unreadable expression hides a quiet readiness for what might come next. The man smirks fiercely, declaring the battle finished with absolute confidence. The man suddenly notices a threatening movement approaching him, his surprise indicating the imminent danger he failed to anticipate. The guy stomps his foot with force, signaling the start of something decisive and sharp as the ground cracks beneath him. The young man with the high ponytail launches a powerful attack with his sword, while his opponent swiftly dodges and prepares to counterattack. Jinsu Kazuhiro forcefully strikes down an enemy soldier, demonstrating his lethal skill and swift decisiveness in battle. The man screams in shock and terror, his wide-open mouth and eyes showing he is overwhelmed by sudden horror. Akira and the surrounding crowd express shock and amazement, their wide eyes and open mouths revealing a surprising or extraordinary sight before them. The bold and dynamic title Demon King crackles with electrifying energy, setting the tone for a story charged with power and impending conflict. The bold title Demon King crackles with electric energy, hinting at a powerful and dark force about to awaken. The man gasps in pain and exhaustion, his face drenched in sweat, struggling to hold on despite his obvious weakness. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes fiercely with his staff, disarming and stunning the enemy warrior with a powerful blow that sends two swords flying. Jinsu Kazuhiro strikes down with his spear, sending multiple opponents flying backwards by the force of his fierce attack. The man clenches his teeth and sweats heavily as an arrow pierces his head, showing his desperate struggle to survive despite the fatal wound. A man in a pink robe sweats profusely, and with wide eyes and an open mouth, recoils in shock as a large object crashes dangerously close behind him. The young man strikes down his opponent with a spear, while a bystander in blue expresses shock at the sudden violence. The girl gasps in shock alongside three men, whose fearful expressions reveal that they have just witnessed something terrifying unfold before them. The man reprimands someone for using unnecessary force after the fight ended, showing a mix of frustration and authority. The girl reacts with shock and disbelief, questioning something unexpected that she has just heard. The man exhales sharply with a smirk, revealing a mix of confidence and concealed defiance. The crowd watches tensely as a man in pink robes is thrown aside by a force or blow, falling to the ground near a man in blue, standing confidently on a raised platform. A man commands Hayuk Ryanwi to fight him, his voice cutting through the tension in the crowded courtyard. The guy turns sharply, shocked and confused by what he just realized. A man demands Hayuk Ryanwi to continue sparring relentlessly, while a girl protests that it's unfair to force him into back-to-back matches, hinting at the strain and possible consequences of pushing a fighter beyond his limits. The man warns that forfeiting will cause a deduction of points, while the girl questions why points keep being brought up when she thought the event was just to test their skill. The man sternly warns the class to be silent and threatens to deduct points if they continue disrupting the lesson. The girl reacts with shock and anger, struggling to contain her rising frustration. Akira notices something unexpected and reacts with surprise, drawing the attention of the crowd around her. Jinsu Kazuhiro contemplates silently the choice of weapon, weighing the risks and consequences of using a powerful tool in the upcoming conflict. The main character tightly grips a coiled whip, ready to unleash its power, signaling a sudden shift towards confrontation or defense. The warrior questions the unexpected use of a whip instead of the usual spear, showing his surprise and concern. The warrior effortlessly breaks the bowstring held by one opponent, while another man reacts in shock, witnessed by a tense crowd uncertain of what will come next. The warrior declares his readiness with unwavering confidence as a surge of power crackles around him, shaking the ground beneath his feet. The man shouts to start the action, his face tense and dripping with sweat, revealing the pressure and urgency of the moment. The young woman is violently thrown through the air, caught off guard by the unexpected force of the attack. The man narrowly blocks a sudden strike to his leg, his wide eyes revealing shock as the impact sends sparks flying. The man screams fiercely as he lunges forward with a sword raised high, unleashing a desperate and violent attack. Jinsu Kazuhiro intensifies his focus, unleashing a powerful energy from his outstretched hand with unwavering determination. The fighter crashes forcefully into the ground, sending a shockwave that throws the girl with blue hair backward, highlighting the overwhelming power and sudden danger of the attack. A figure in pink falls sharply from a great height above traditional rooftops, their scream echoing the danger of the sudden descent. A group of people in matching uniforms looks up in shock and alarm, their unified reaction hinting at an unexpected and potentially threatening event unfolding above them. The warrior surveys the weapons rack and asks if anyone else is interested, revealing a challenge that demands courage and readiness. Jinsu Kazuhiro asserts that there are still plenty of weapons to use, hinting at a readiness to continue the fight despite the circumstances. The sword flashes with a fierce light as someone angrily calls out that the young warrior's arrogance would shock even the heavens. A warrior in pink armor challenges Jinsu Kazuhiro to a fight, demanding he face him head-on despite the tense crowd watching. The warrior tightly grips a dagger, ready to strike with deadly precision, as the silent tension in the air hints at an imminent confrontation. Jinsu Kazuhiro agrees confidently, gripping his sword with a determined smirk that hints at his readiness for the upcoming challenge. The man fiercely demands to know why the other is laughing and threatens not to let him go. The warrior delivers a powerful strike that shatters the ground beneath him, scattering debris and forcing his opponent to dodge desperately. The young man violently swings his sword again, sending his enemy tumbling backwards from the sheer force. He readies a massive, sweeping attack with his blade, his stance solid. A warrior's axe slams into the enemy's hand, crushing his fingers and forcing him to scream in pain and shock. The young man's hand reaches out just as the sword's grip shatters, hinting at a critical moment where his strength and timing could decide survival or defeat. Jinsu Kazuhiro delivers a powerful strike that breaks through his opponent's defenses, forcing the man to recoil in shock and pain. A man suddenly reacts in shock as a sharp blade flies dangerously close to him, barely missing its mark. The young man strikes fiercely with his weapon while being forcefully kicked backward, showing the brutal cost of underestimating his opponent. A powerful strike sends a figure flying off the rooftop, highlighting the deadly force behind the attack and the imminent danger it brings. The group of people in red uniforms looks up with shock and fear, their mouths open as if shouting or screaming in alarm. The man sweats profusely and bares his teeth in panic, revealing his fear of the looming danger. The man reprimands Jinsu Kazuhiro for causing injury during a sparring match, warning that such actions lead to point deductions. The girl protests loudly about the unfairness of the situation while the stern young man stands silently beside her, surrounded by a crowd. The man harshly condemns the use of another person's weapon, emphasizing a penalty for the breach of rules. The man urgently asks who just appeared, his tense expression revealing fear and confusion. The fighter delivers a powerful flying kick that smashes through a chair, surprising the man who watches with sweat and an open mouth. A fierce clash erupts as the man in red launches a powerful strike while Jinsu Kazuhiro counters with agility. Both fighters locked in a deadly struggle where one wrong move could mean defeat. A voice questions whether an instructor assaulting another is allowed, then another explains that the aggressor is a high-level instructor far superior to the one who was beaten. A man angrily warns that a mere training instructor has no right to threaten him, even if ranked higher, asserting control over his lesson despite a bleeding injury. The man smirks confidently, challenging the other person with a sharp question that implies he is ready for whatever comes next. The man accuses the instructor of starting a fight and threatening a student with points, then challenges him to report that he interfered and beat him up instead. A stern man angrily orders the group, including a surprised young woman and a tall man, to stop lingering as their presence disgusts him, and he never wants to see their faces again. The girl enthusiastically assures the instructor that she will remember his advice, while he stands silently with arms crossed, observing her with a serious expression. Jinsu Kazuhiro narrows his eyes with a stern expression, silently preparing for the challenge he senses ahead. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands with his back turned toward a tall traditional building, silently observing the statue on the rooftop as a quiet tension fills the air. Jinsu Kazuhiro watches from above as a crowd gathers below, while one person urgently approaches two standing calmly, hinting at a brewing confrontation or critical message. Jinsu Kazuhiro's eyes widen in shock as a sudden realization dawns on him, the ominous red background hinting at the grave consequences of his discovery. The title Demon King is presented in bold, dynamic brushstrokes with electric sparks emphasizing its power and intensity. The scene reveals the title Demon King with shadowy figures and digital motifs, setting a foreboding tone and hinting at a dark, immersive conflict ahead. The ancient temple basks in the morning sun, its silent presence hinting at secrets waiting to unfold within its walls. The young man grips a cup tightly, the subtle sound hinting at tension in the calm setting. The man expresses his confusion and concern, explaining that he rushed over after hearing about the Dragon Phoenix Society being summoned, but questions why only their group was called. A woman explains that she wanted to spend time alone and deliberately did not invite others, while another person interrupts her with a sharp cough. The man enthusiastically acknowledges Miss Bakley's presence and boasts that she is the esteemed phoenix of their Dragon Phoenix Society, adding a hint of pride and admiration. The woman introduces herself as Bakley Soso from the Heaven Squad, her calm demeanor hinting at a hidden authority. The girl casts a sharp, dismissive glance, silently rejecting the possibility with a quiet but firm refusal. The girl thinks that he intentionally summoned her because he knew the other man was interested in her. Two men share a relaxed moment over drinks, one of them speaking with a carefree, slightly intoxicated air that hints at hidden stories beneath their casual conversation. The man senses the girl has a favor to ask and inquires about it, while she admits that it is obvious. The woman warns that among the new students this year there is a troublemaker disrupting the academy's order. The fist crushes the object with force, while someone angrily claims that the long-established tradition of the academy is being defied. The man clenches his fist angrily and demands to know the culprit, vowing to personally ensure they face consequences. The man smiles slyly, radiating a calm confidence that hints at a hidden agenda. The bold lettering of the title Demon King crackles with electric energy, hinting at a fierce and supernatural conflict to come. The man with drool on his chin has collapsed from shock or fear, while the other watches him with a cold, unreadable expression, hinting at a tense power dynamic between them. The young man with a high ponytail urgently whispers a warning to the bulky man with a mohawk, who nervously chews his finger while processing the gravity of the secret. The girl tells the guy that he has become famous because of his duel, implying that his past victory has made a significant impact on their world. Akira remarks that people seem to be avoiding them more, while Jinsu Kazuhiro responds that it is fortunate no one is attempting to provoke them. The young man firmly insists on the importance of maintaining good relationships for long-term networking, while the girl reacts with surprise and urgency. Jinsu Kazuhiro reflects on his younger brother's undeserved death, his jaw clenched in quiet fury as painful memories surface. The character questions the value of networking with a mix of frustration and disbelief, hinting at a deeper conflict or irony about relying on connections. A group of men reacts with surprise and admiration upon seeing a girl, clearly struck by her beauty and whispering about it with eager excitement. The woman remarks to her companion that men are so predictable, hinting at confidence and perhaps underlying plans. Jinsu Kazuhiro notices the approaching servants carrying trays and prepares for what might unfold next, sensing a sudden shift in the room's atmosphere. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands silently, his stern expression hinting at the weight of an unspoken resolve. The girl confronts the man silently with a calm yet resolute expression, hinting at unspoken tension between them. The girl explains that Yuk Ryanwi won a duel by defeating 3 opponents in a row, while the other person remarks that this must be the troublemaker Ju Ja-ak they heard about, hinting at potential conflict ahead. 2 figures rush through the hall, while a conversation reveals that the girl is the guy's roommate from the Orthodox faction, highlighting the unexpected nature of their pairing. The woman quietly warns her companion that escaping the ordeal will be difficult because Ju Ja-ak is hunting him. The woman remarks with a hint of regret that the man is quite handsome, suggesting an underlying complexity to their encounter. The calm night sky filled with stars contrasts with the quiet stillness of the tree and rooftop, hinting at a looming change beneath the serene surface. Akira walks alone through the quiet temple grounds at night, her alert gaze scanning the shadows as a distant sound catches her attention, hinting at unseen danger nearby. The girl listens intently to a faint sound, her expression alert and cautious as if sensing an approaching danger or secret message. The young man carefully slips his hand into a narrow opening, signaling a cautious attempt to retrieve something hidden. A figure stands alone under the night sky in a quiet, traditional courtyard, their posture hinting at a burdened mind and restless thoughts. A hand holds a torn paper with the word "complete" boldly written, signaling the end of a crucial task or revelation that may shift the balance of the unfolding story. Jinsu Kazuhiro silently contemplates the weight of his next move, the faint trembling of falling fragments hinting at an irreversible decision. The quiet temple courtyard is bathed in twilight, with falling petals hinting at an impending change or hidden tension beneath the serene atmosphere. A voice urgently demands to know what happened, breaking the calm with a tone of alarm and confusion. The young man holds up a tattered, burned piece of cloth, revealing the harsh reality of a recent struggle and the danger that still lingers. The girl gasps for breath, holding a torn, blood-stained garment, while the shirtless young man questions her breathing and notes. The scene was like this when he arrived, as she demands to know who is responsible. Akira, out of breath and embarrassed, suggests the guy should wear her clothes for the lessons while he questions who she is speaking to and asks what she plans to do. The girl clenches her fist and fiercely insists that she promised to ensure a comfortable life and feels partially responsible for failing to prevent the current situation. The guy insists they should leave immediately despite the surprise and objection from the girl. The girl urgently warns Jinsu that he will lose points if he attends without his training attire, revealing the stakes of his uncertain choice. The sword stands silently, coated in layers of dust and neglect, hinting at battles long past and the weight of forgotten power waiting to be reclaimed. Jinsu Kazuhiro inspects a neglected storage room filled with dust and debris, realizing that this is why he was assigned to clean the place. Jinsu Kazuhiro blocks a powerful strike with his hand, his focused expression revealing readiness to counterattack. The dimly lit room glows ominously from the windows as shadows and particles drift silently, suggesting a tense stillness before an impending event. Jinsu Kazuhiro stands firmly, striking the ground with a staff that sends dust and debris swirling, demonstrating his overwhelming power and control. Jinsu Kazuhiro unleashes a powerful glowing strike that tears through the rocky terrain, showing his deadly resolve to overcome the overwhelming force before him. A powerful explosion shatters the structure, scattering debris violently and signaling impending chaos. A display of numerous shining weapons hints at an impending conflict or the preparation of a formidable fighter. The scene glimmers with light reflecting off wooden crates, hinting at something valuable or secret being carefully stored. A man sharply orders someone to clean the place until the lessons are over, revealing his harsh control over the situation. Jinsu Kazuhiro weighs his options with time left before lessons end, questioning what to do next while standing before an array of weapons. Jinsu Kazuhiro calmly exhales and proposes to take a moment to think, signaling a pause before action. The young man believes the person behind his brother's assassination request is likely inside the academy, and suspects they gave Yang Wuseng a repeating student status for easier access. The young man yawns loudly while the warrior carefully examines a book and explains that the money given to the 5 poison demons should still be traceable in the accounting records, and expresses confidence that Huanya's investigation will soon uncover a clue. The young man contemplates the delay before Yang Wuseng's disappearance is noticed and resolves to uncover the origin of the money in the meantime. The door creaks open slowly, revealing a bright light that hints at an approaching moment of truth or danger. Jinsu Kazuhiro sharply senses a sudden movement nearby, his expression tightening as he prepares for an imminent challenge. A figure bursts through a door with explosive force, surrounded by flying debris and shouts, signaling the sudden arrival of danger or conflict. Jinsu Kazuhiro sharply reacts as mud splashes onto his face, his focused gaze revealing his readiness for the imminent conflict. The bold and jagged title, Demon King, crackles with electric energy, hinting at a fierce and supernatural conflict about to unfold.